Are you ready to get physical? It's time to talk some discs and more. We're gonna talk about it all, and it's almost Christmas Day. Yippee-ki-yay, Merry Christmas is what we say! Who knows what we'll bring on this holiday? Who wants to get physical? You wanna talk some physical media? Deck the halls and come check out what we have in store. This is a Media Hound's dream. Time for some physical media on FanZcene. Yeah, on FanZcene! Merry Christmas, you filthy animal! Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
That was amazing.
There you go. What do you think about that?
That was great.
It was good, like that. I've just whipped that together real quick. I found some clips where some people put some stuff together, and I just clipped what I could all together for all that. So I need to work on the audio a little bit at the beginning there. I don't know what was
You're
up with
like,
the audio.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Excuse me. But there you guys. Yes. Welcome, fellow followers, to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene. We are approaching Christmas Day, Christmas soon. So, we had a little festive intro there. Thanks to Tom for the music.
Yeah, I forgot this. I was on the wrong thing. Here you go.
There you go.
Now I can sound better.
Yes. But yes, thank you for the music. And I gathered the clips up and I put it together. I thought that was a nice little...
You did most of the work there. All I had to do is feed the old song into the thing and give it some new lyrics, tell it to do Christmas music, and boom. Or a Christmas version of that. So.
And we got it. I liked it. I like the tune to it. And I tried to get the filthy animal and the...
Did a good job, man.
Together, so yeah, I'm not the best editor in the world, but when I can come together, I can.
You do pretty good. A lot better than you give yourself credit for. So, yeah.
I try.
Trust me, if I knew you had more time, I'd actually probably utilize you. I'd be like, throw you a few bucks and be like, here, you want to work on some videos?
Yeah. That's I could use probably my editing skills.
Right? No, you do pretty good, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, but I agree. I will probably play that again because I know when we started the show, it was only a few people. So we'll probably play that again before the end is out. So anybody who may have missed it. But let's say hi to the chat real quick and we'll get into the physical media tonight. Make sure you guys tell your friends and your family. We are live. Yeah. Okay, let's make sure everything's good. We have FKHC 2005. He says, first, welcome. Hell to you, Brian Barth. Glad to see you with us as always. It's funny you should mention that. That might come up. Evening, Danny Hooley. Glad to see you out there as well. Hi, Heather Preston. Glad to see you in the chat. What is up, Style Section? He says, hell on my Physical Media Mafia members, waiting for the post to turn me up. You're going to have to, I got to wait till Christmas. So I got to wait till Christmas, but I get where you're coming from. Hola, Ace Hanlon. Glad to see you out there as well. Merry Christmas to you, Tyrell17. And thank you very much. Yes, I dug the intro. I like that. I'm glad we got one for Christmas now and Halloween. Yes, we're hoping the best for you, Tom. I don't know what's going on with that end, but I know you've had it a little rough there. And howdy, Alfred Biscuits 5775. Glad to see you. Hell to you, Tim Hayes. Glad to see you out in the chat. We are a little earlier, so make sure you tell everybody we are live and everything. But thank you guys for coming in and hanging with us as always. What do we got on tap for upcoming? Where's the suit, Tom? What do we have for the upcoming physical media releases? What do we have? Am I coming through all right? Because I want to make sure I'm okay. Yes.
You are. I stepped away for a second.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure because my internet we had a snowstorm a couple days ago. It's all melted now, but we had 6 inches of snow, 5-degree weather, and the internet was being funky for those couple days. And I'm hoping it's not messed up.
Right. So, yeah. No. As far as what's going on with my channel, nothing new. I did do an update video not yesterday, I think it was. So Nothing yet from YouTube outside of an automated deal, pretty much. So I got to go through all that crap, and we'll see how it goes. But
Yes.
as far as new announcements, I know we're getting something from Arrow this week, and of course, I think I dropped this, and I know a few other people did too. We know for sure we're getting Salem's Lot
Yes.
in 4K. I don't know if there's any other ones that have leaked yet.
I've heard possibly Frighteners
Oh yes, I think I heard that too. Yes,
from Arrow. Yeah.
Yep.
So
There was a couple other ones too. I can't remember offhand, but yeah. So no surprise there. Let's see here. What else was there? There wasn't a whole lot this week.
not too much.
I want to say there was at least something from Kino, but I'm trying to find it. Because, you know, they usually release something every week. Rumor going around that Django's coming to Steelbook from Lionsgate. And all I got so far from Kino is just their specs on Ray, which we already knew was coming. So, yeah, I think that's it. I didn't see anything else. I must have missed anything else new. So,
Did we talk about
bring me up to speed?
the 4K Pink Panther movies from Kino? We talked about those, right?
That's been for a while, yeah. But did they get delayed or something like that? Because I see now Return of the Pink Panther's not coming out till March.
Yeah, it looks like March 3rd is when they're coming out.
So I don't know if the rest of them got delayed or what, because they were supposed to be out this December, like this next week here, or yesterday, or whatever it was. But so I'm thinking they got delayed.
Yeah. It probably did. That's what I was looking at. It doesn't see if it says delayed or not, but that's what it looks like. And
Unless
looks
they
like
split them up, because like I know I ordered them from Kino, so yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. It also looks like Throw Mama from the Train is coming to 4K from Kino on March 31st.
I did not see that one. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, and Beethoven is getting a new
That one-
2K master from Kino.
Yeah, that one we knew. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're right. You're good.
It's like a Peter Sellers collection is coming as well, with Man in a Crooked Hat, Two-Way Stretch, I'm All Right Jack, Heavens Above, and The Wrong Arm of the Law. I've never seen any of those, so that one might be interesting.
There you go. Tyrell says Return is the one that is a separate studio. Return of the Pink Panther. So
yeah, but no, it's coming from Kino. It is, but it's in March. Or is it Revenge I'm thinking of? It might be Revenge. I'd have to look again, but I know I ordered whatever 3 or 4 they had available through Kino. I know that. And then I know I got one that's the separate one, whatever one it is, that I ordered from Imprint or whatever that's from the Inner Positive scan.
right.
But Ilsa Tigress of the Siberia, I think, was also one of the MacArthur with Gregory Peck.
Yeah, I saw
Looks
the
like it was
Elsa
another
things.
one.
Yeah.
The Postman, or the Lost Man, not Postman, sorry, with Sidney Poitier.
Yep.
Let's see here. What else we got? Port of Shadows, Man About Town, Artists and Models. So that seems to be the new. Oh, and Scott Joplin with Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Looks like, and I think Dead Again is one we've talked about before.
K2, The Ultimate High, is coming from Kino in 4K, March 17th. Do you ever heard of that one?
It sounds familiar. I think we've caught up on most of those then.
Yeah. Oh, and the new It TV series is getting a 4K steelbook
I saw that.
in May, but that's the only way you can get it on 4K, and then it's got a Blu-ray. So if you guys want that,
There you go.
there you go. There you go. For Reanimator Possessed 4K from Second Sight. That's good deal. Good deal.
Nice.
I need to get on that Reanimator 4K. I just have not had. It's been a shitty year. Let me tell you that much. So I haven't had a chance to get a lot of good stuff lately. But yeah, I think what you said was everything we got. What's up, Corley and Rogue? Hi, Dubba Fett, Victor Fontaine. If anybody else I missed, thank you guys for hanging with us. And Tim did send us his member for 40 months. Thank you, Tim, very much. Hello, fellow followers. His members chat. I appreciate all your support and thank you for hanging with me. Oh, I didn't upload it. Dang it. I was going to upload it because I was going to use that for today. Let me see if I can upload it real quick. It should take too long, and I'll play that for you before I go, before we get into everything. If I got to find it real quick. Like I said, I don't want to over exhaust my internet. Where are you at? Why are you always messing me up? I got so much stuff on here. Sometimes I just... There we go. Let's see if I can get this going, and then I'll play this. But thank you, Tim, seriously, and thank you for everybody out in the chat and everybody hanging with us tonight. Hope you're in for a mood for some physical media. Tom's got a lot tonight. Way more than me. I don't know how you find the time sometimes, Tom. I really don't, because you would think somebody like me would have finding time to watch movies, and I don't. But anyways, Tim, thank you for being a member for 40 months and here for your members chat.
Hey, it's Gary Busey, and I have got a great Christmas present for you. Listen to this. Honk! Honk! That's what a goose sounds like when they're flying. They let you know they're up there. Honk! Honk! You get a bunch of geese together. Honk, honk, honk. They're honking in the air.
Look at Gary Busey. He kills me. Oh my God, does that man kill me? Oh, he's so out of it. What's up, Random Brad? Glad to see you as well. Hell to you, Clark the Shark. Glad to have you with it. Hey, he loves killer clowns. What can I say? He loves killer clowns. Honk! Honk! Oh, I got to thank Tom for that. He shared that with me earlier, and I found that, and I thought that was hilarious, so I had to use that. Okay, but with that being said, who wants to go first? You want to go first, Tom, or me? Because
I mean, since I have so many, I suppose I probably should.
Yeah.
Let me get myself organized here. Yeah, I gotta love that goose clip. Because he's probably thinking of Christmas goose, and you know how his brain works.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of how brains work, that's probably a good place to start.
There you go.
Hopefully you can't see all my movies here the way they're stacked up. But now I know one of the stars is not the favorite of most people nowadays, and I don't blame them. But another one is a beloved individual who sadly we lost not too long ago. But we have probably close to one of my biggest disappointments ever from Sony.
Oh.
Yes, you heard me correct. From Sony.
What?
Okay, before you freak out too much, there's literally like 2 or 3 scenes where I notice some still grain.
Oh.
So don't freak out too much. But it is a step in the wrong direction for Sony. Because I'm just like going, because the first time I saw it, I'm like, did I see what I thought I saw? And then there was a couple other darker scenes later on. I'm like, yep, I saw what I thought I saw. Glad to see it's not in every scene. But of course, this is a movie that's needed an upgrade for a while. Although this was not the worst Blu-ray in the world for Awakenings back in the day, the cover, on the other hand, is wretched. So I'm glad now for the new 4K, they went back to the original poster.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of surprised this is not one that's in the that was used for the Columbia box sets.
Mm-hmm.
Because it almost feels like it'd be a shoe-in for that.
It does. It's like one of those.
Yeah, and of course it's directed by Penny Marshall, and it's based on a true story. And Robert De Niro, of course, plays Leonard Lowe, or not of course, but he plays Leonard Lowe, a man who's been stuck in a catatonic state for 30 years. And Robin Williams plays a doctor named Dr. Sayers, who's a new doctor at this chronic hospital, and he starts to look into the cases of the chronic patients he has there, especially the ones with catatonia and other similar traits. And he starts to notice some patterns and things in their past, starts to put some puzzles together, and starts to figure that there may be some drugs and other experimental ways that they can maybe wake these people up. And needless to say, he does. And it starts with Robert De Niro's character. And then, of course, they try it on a bunch more patients. And it's a very uplifting, great story, Oscar bait kind of movie.
Yeah.
Very of its time. It takes place in the 60s, but it was made in the 90s. It looks great for the most part. There's finally some special features on here, some old, making of documentaries and stuff like that from back in the day, EPK stuff. So nothing to really write home about. But yeah, at the end of the day, for the price especially, because it's in that $30 price range, a little disappointing for Sony. Like they could have, I think they need to start bringing down the price on some of their classic titles.
Right.
And normally they're pretty good about giving us extras. This one just felt very light in the extra department. So
It's
But
kind
yeah,
of
no, overall, I can kind of recommend it, but I'd wait for it to come down in price.
yeah. I was gonna say it feels like it's kind of one of those like, yeah, you know what people liked? Awakenings. Yeah, let's put that out. You know what I mean? It's like and then not with very not much fanfare to it or something like that. I don't know.
Well,
But
and the
it's
weird
a
thing
good
about
one.
it is, and this is a weird thing,
Mm-hmm.
because Sony usually comes with a Blu-ray,
Yes.
which is just a reprint of their old Blu-ray.
Yes.
Which this old one does have Columbia Pictures insignia on it, but this appears to be one of the few titles that Image had the rights to.
Mm.
Okay, now you notice something about this?
It doesn't.
Does not have a Blu-ray with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just does the 4K Ultra
Now,
HD and digital.
you're paying 30 some bucks just for the 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even get a Blu-ray copy with it. Not that that's a big deal to most people, but I'm just looking at this going, okay, so Image must still have the rights for Blu-ray and DVD or something like that, and Sony took advantage of the loophole, because there's got to be a loophole somewhere, because if you haven't noticed how many boutique companies where one will release a Blu-ray and then a couple weeks later we'll get the 4K somewhere else or what have you. So I think that might be the case. There's something
there.
Legal wrangling loophole here. But for the price, I'm just kind of like, I could wait I could have waited until it went down in price a little bit. I wasn't dying to watch Awakenings. Because this isn't the worst. In fact, I think this comes from the negative, if not an inner positive, because it's not the worst looking disc in the world. And this is of course, a huge upgrade, but it does have a few hallmarks of issues, and it almost feels like it was scrubbed a little too much of grain for the time period, but it still has a nice grain balance overall. So I'm not going to complain too much. I mean, for Sony, it's a pretty typical release of theirs. Sans those few little problems. So yeah.
I'm just wondering if curious outside of the whole, maybe Image having the Blu-ray, but I have noticed that with a couple other 4K releases from studios, they're just giving you the 4K and the digital and charging you that much. It almost feels like they're charging for the digital now as the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Good. That's kind of a good point.
Yeah. Because they used to charge you like, okay, you get the 4K and the Blu-ray, or you get the Blu-ray and the DVD. Now the digital copy,
but you'd also get the digital with it then too.
Yeah,
but still,
exactly.
yeah.
But now it feels like the digital copy is the Blu-ray, so therefore, I don't know. It just feels that way sometimes with some of these releases, especially with some studios. That's the first I've seen from Sony. Warner Brothers is a big offender of that, and Universal's pretty good with giving you the Blu-ray for the most part. So yeah, that's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. When do I think De Niro peaked? Before he started doing all those movies in the early 2000s, where he was just doing.
Yeah, he probably.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he probably peaked at Frankenstein, but then you kind of, that plateau around the Fockers shit.
Yeah.
Then he fell off. Yeah.
Because he did the Fockers, and then after that, he was like doing every single like Bad Grandpa and all those type of movies that like paycheck movies. You could tell, it was he's no longer what he once was. Plus, I mean, just to listen to the man talk nowadays, oh boy, he has no personality to begin with. I don't think I think Sony's pretty good with physical media. I think kind of may have to go back to how there's so few plants nowadays. So now also I think, like we talked about before, is like they'll manufacture a bunch of 4Ks, Blu-rays for whatever's coming out, and then you got to wait a couple more months before they do it again because something else has to be manufactured, and there's only like 2 or 3 factories left. So I think that's a problem. But we'll see. We'll see. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sony's pretty good at releasing catalog titles. So.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah. You can't say much about it. Where should I go from that? Because I don't have nothing to go off of that. I guess I'll do my Christmas movies, get them out of the way. Well, some of these have some stuff to do with Christmas, but they're not really about Christmas. But I'll do these and get these out of the way since I've talked about them before. Nothing special here. I watched the Home Alone 1 and 2. No, I still don't have Home Alone 1 on 4K, but this Blu-ray is This was a 4K scan before Fox was sold. So
I think so. I think it's from that 4K
Yeah.
scan. Yeah.
yeah, so that's just I got these two. I bought these matter of fact, I think I bought these right before Fox was sold to Disney. So yeah, I watched Home Alone.
Well, they only
1 and 2
re-released them every damn year.
every year.
That's actually like the second or third version of Home Alone too, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a big seller, so they kept selling it over and over and everything like that. So
Which is why Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
which is why, matter of fact, speaking of which, not to go off on this whole trailer give because I just did Home Alone. I saw a trailer today that was put out by Fox for Die Hard, calling it a Christmas movie. So it was for the matter of fact, it was for the 4K digital release of the movie.
They put it out with a slipcover that was Christmas themed too, and
Yeah,
they put it
they
out
did.
every year for Christmas.
Every
At that
year.
point, it is a Christmas movie.
It is. It truly is.
But anyhow, back to Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin.
Which is
great.
funny because I almost watched part 2. I was like, oh, I think about it, and I'm like, never mind.
So, well, speaking of the clown, I think you put that out there. And I think out there Tim Curry getting scared by a clown in Home Alone 2. Anybody? So, no, they're fun movies. I think they're staples of a lot of. I think the
Get the hell out of here, you pervert! Before I knock you silly.
He was smooching with. Oh my God, what was that guy's name?
Oh,
And then
shit.
he looks at that old man. I know, I just watched it. He looks at the old man and he goes, I wasn't doing it. I can't remember the old man's name, but yeah.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Animals. And a Happy New Year. Cliff. Yes, that's what it is, Cliff. I saw you smooching with Cliff. Tim Curry. You gotta love it. They really are some of the best parts of part 2, like Tim Curry, Rob Schneider, and that woman in the hotel. I think we talked about that before. Is like it feels like maybe the Wet Bandits. I haven't watched.
Well, it's funny because I was gonna say I think Hats Off or whatever did a video where I think in the original script.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Wet Bandits were in it. I think they kind of took their place until I think somebody at the studio or somebody else said you got to have the Wet Bandits in it or whatever. And yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I was gonna say I haven't watched that video because I saw you put that up there, but I was thinking because the movie is way longer than the first movie, and it does feel like it was two Home Alone movies, like where it was supposed to be Kevin battling these hotel people. And then the Wet Bandits come in, and it feels like a separate movie when they come in and he's battling them, and all that happens.
If I remember correctly,
yeah.
Someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. In the original script, it was like, he was basically keeping out those guys from the hotel room via traps and stuff like that, like the first film. But then, like I said, somebody at the studio was like, no, you got to have the Wet Bandits and all this other crap. So they made that whole crappy weird ending. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it's like it does feel very tacked on.
It does.
Like this whole idea with the Wet Bandits just showing up and then they like disappear for a while, then they're back again when they, Kevin figures out their plot and all that shit. It's like it feels so like half-handedly done. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, the Home Alone 2 is one of those weird anomaly sequels. It has enough good stuff in it, and it's enough like the original movie that it's the most general audiences are going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't go too far from the mothership. And I think a lot of that is because they added that stuff in. Had it been the other movie, I wonder if it had been the same movie.
Yeah, I would be curious. See, now, Double Fat, I get where you're coming from. You don't, but I don't feel like it's a remake.
But that's why it becomes one. It's because they forced the Wet Bandits into it. Yeah.
Up until he has to fight him off in his uncle's house. It is almost a different movie with him battling them in the hotel, and like we just mentioned.
I mean, you could argue some of the stuff with the bird lady is also.
With the old man from Neighbor, yeah.
But then again, I wonder if that didn't get added with the fucking
with the Wet Bandits.
With the Wet Bandit shit at that point, because then you're going, does that really even tie into the other stuff? Not really. The turtle doves, that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, just to do that. But no, it's fun. Like the first one's a classic. I know.
Brian, we don't talk about Home Alone 3.
I was just about to mention that. Have you heard what Christopher Columbus said? Chris Columbus said
Christopher Columbus is an idiot.
he is,
But
I do agree with what he just said about this.
I say that with all love because the man created one of my favorite franchises. But I'll be the first to point out that fucking movie we got is nothing like the script he wrote.
Yeah.
Like, they're only alike in concept only, okay? Like, his movie has more in common with Critters 2. Like, and I shit you not, there's almost like story beats that are verbatim for Critters 2. But anyhow, that being said, no, I mean, look, Christopher Columbus, bless him, he came up with part of the concept for Home Alone. He directed it, I mean, but it was John Hughes who actually came up with the concept, as far as I know. As far as the sequel goes, did he direct the sequel? I can't remember.
He did do 1 and 2.
Okay, so who did part 3? Because I know Hughes wrote it, but Hughes wrote that movie, it feels like, on the back of a fucking pack of gum for $20.
I don't remember who wrote it, but like Chris Columbus just came out and he said that the only 2 Home Alone movies that count are the first 2. He said all the other sequels suck. He said Home Alone 3 is the best of the worst. Is what he said.
Well, I think you only can say that is because John Hughes actually wrote it, right?
Yeah.
And the most surprising thing about that movie is that John Hughes actually fucking wrote it, right? Like, you watch that movie and you're going, how the fuck did John Hughes write this movie? I didn't even think John Hughes could shit something this bad.
Yeah.
Like, even John Hughes taking a dump on my table, I'll be like, well, John, that's a pretty nice shit. Like, I can't complain. It doesn't even smell that bad, John.
I mean, it's some shit, but I mean, somebody.
It's not runny even. I mean, I can clean it up real quick.
He pinched it off.
So
Didn't even need to wipe.
Exactly. Like, it's just, like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say he's perfect, but he's like damn near perfect, right? Then you look at shit like Home Alone 3, and you're like,
what happened?
Boy must have needed a fucking paycheck. And boy, they must have paid him a lot of money for that.
They probably did.
And it had to be one of those things where, like, we got to pay John Hughes like $2 or $3 million anyway now because this is the 3rd film and that's in his contract. So we might as well pay him an extra few thousand just to fucking have him write it.
Exactly.
Like, I swear that's got to be what it's. I don't think he directed it. That was why I was asking.
Yeah, it looks like Raja Gosnell directed it.
Yeah,
he
somebody
did the
else did,
Scooby-Doo movies, I believe.
Didn't he go on to do Iron Man?
Or
one of the Iron Man movies? No, never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Raja Gosnell did the Scooby-Doo movies. At least
no, I'm trying to think of what else he did. I know his name sounds familiar somewhere. Something comic booky, and I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Booze. He wrote it with booze. Yeah.
He just gave him a case of booze and like, here, write a Home Alone movie. All right.
I'll do it. Fine.
See, it's totally different than the first movie.
Yeah. I love
that movie makes Baby's Day Out look fucking amazing. Like,
oh my God, I've not seen Baby's Day Out.
Baby's Day Out is almost more of the true Home Alone 3. If you think about it.
It almost is. Baby with the milk chasing after him and he's doing all that stuff to him as they go along.
Yeah, and I mean, at least the bad guys are memorable, You got, what was it, Montoya and that big dumb blonde guy. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, is it ridiculous as fuck? Yes. But, like, I remember walking out of that movie going, you know what? That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's probably because John Hughes wrote it.
Probably.
Like, that's what I was thinking walking out of it. Because, like, even Dennis the Menace, because of John Hughes, you're going like, wow, this should have been a shit fucking movie.
But it was fun.
But it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Even though there's tons of fart jokes with Christopher Lloyd, it still kind of works.
Christopher Lloyd is actually pretty good in that movie.
Well, and I think the main reason why Dennis the Menace worked is whoever was like, we have to have Walter Matthau play Mr. Wilson. Like, right. That was that's why it worked, right? And I mean, had it been 5 years before that, you could have had Macaulay Culkin play Dennis, but
yep,
at that point he was way too old. So
yeah. But like the kids love the original Home Alone. They like part 2 too, but they love the first one. They absolutely love the first one, and it's nice to hear Macaulay Culkin talk about these movies now that he's older, and he's healed, and he's clean, and he's married and got kids. I was listening to him talk about how his kids. I know you heard the story where his kids think, that's him, and
They don't realize it's him, and he's like, they don't believe him.
Yeah, they don't believe him. He said he even like one day they went down. His kids were asking him to see pictures of his brothers, and he said he went down and got a picture of him and his brothers, and they said, "Isn't that Kevin from Home Alone?" Said like they still did. You know, he was saying that he said, "I'm trying to keep it from him as long as I can, but I know somebody on the playground is going to spoil it for him."
Oh, he doesn't even tell him. Okay, I thought he said that he did try to tell him, but they wouldn't believe him.
I don't know. Because I was watching this clip. I saw it on either.
Because I kind of thought I've heard him tell the story a couple times now. One time, I swear, he told the story that he's like, I tried telling my son that was me, and he's like, no, that's me. So like my son thinks that's him in the movie. Because I suppose this kid looks a lot like him. But like,
yeah. Maybe that was after, because like I don't know how old the clip was I was watching. I
don't know either.
Yeah,
but I've heard him tell a few stories, and then I'm sure didn't we talk about like his idea for Home Alone, a new Home Alone movie?
Yeah, where he's like his kid locks him out because he's either a widow or
and of course, did you hear Chris Columbus couldn't just let him have that? No. Chris Columbus had to come out and give his 2 cents on what a Home Alone 3 movie should be. Like, motherfucker, the reason why Macaulay Culkin's version works is because you don't really need the wet bandits at this point.
At that point,
your version is all about the wet bandits trying to get revenge after 30 years on an adult. Like, that would turn into like some weird fucking Saw type movie at some point, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I like the idea better with the whole, like, oh, you know, he's a kid, or he's got a kid himself now, and, you know, all that kind of shit. And I thought that was a little bit more original. You don't have to have the wet bandits. You could have a cameo. But I mean, what would be even funnier is if, like, maybe you have, like, Joe Pesci moving next door, a la, like, the old man from the first movie. And the whole movie, you're expecting him to be an asshole or do something to Kevin when he actually ends up helping Kevin get in or something at the end. You know what I mean?
Would be funny. That would,
you know what I mean? Like, he's like, I know how to break into a house. I've been doing that for 30 years.
That was better than the ideal that I had. My ideal was like, they would be there in the neighborhood and see him trying to break into his house and call the cops on him.
I know, we talked about that. That's right. Yeah. Which isn't bad. I don't mind that idea, but I think it'd be even funnier if, like, he finds out, oh my God, they live in the same neighborhood, and then he ends up using them to get in the house because they actually know how to break into houses.
That would be funny. I mean, I think that is actually a good idea because
you're going through the front, but watch out for that goddamn can. He's gonna throw that can at you. He still ain't got no teeth.
That would be great.
Yeah, I still can't eat a steak.
I have PTSD from that spider.
Mom, you couldn't eat a steak when you had teeth.
I mean, it would be
just because we couldn't afford them.
If they did it right and they didn't just like, but the thing is Disney still owns it and everything. But
yeah, I know.
I think it could be fun, like, you know, Kevin trying to get in and going through what the wet bandits would do, and I think that would go along with what Macaulay Culkin himself has gone through with healing through drugs and finding his wife and his kids and where he's at now in his life. You know, oh, this is what I did as a kid. This is how I felt, and this is what they went through.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. That could be an interesting movie.
And he just makes the same mistakes his parents made too by ignoring his kids so much. Yeah,
ignoring them and overworking, and you know, not even getting his kid a cheese pizza. You know,
and then maybe we'll get the age-old answer of what his dad really does do.
What does his dad do? He worked for the Sopranos.
Yeah, everybody's come up with that. I'm like, I don't know about that, because if his dad was like somebody in the underworld, Kevin would have been fine.
Yeah, nobody would have touched that house.
Not just that, he'd have been like, hey, Tony, yeah, what? My kid's home alone. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, we fucking left him. Are you shitting me? That's hilarious. So what do you need me to do? Why don't you go swing over there and just make sure nothing happens? All right, cool. And then somebody would just hang out there until they got back. Like, literally.
Exactly,
So, like, I don't believe that. Like, I believe that the dad probably has not a very great job. In fact, I'd imagine he probably works at the same place that, like, Ferris's dad works and Steve Martin works or whatever. Yeah. And that's the thing is I looked this up a long time ago, so I already knew it. But I'm assuming from all the evidence that's online, the mother, actually is a fashion designer. Oh. So that's probably where the money comes from. Because I guess if you watch the movie, she's always got all these things around and, like, mannequins and, like, half put together outfits and shit like that. Mm-hmm. See, I guess I always just thought, because, okay, just so you get my mindset, because I noticed this too until I looked this theory up, or it's more than a theory. I guess some people claim it's basically fact now.
Okay.
But like I always noticed that she had those things, but I was like, oh, it's a big family. She probably just sews dresses for the girls. And then when you see what's her face in that one scene in the dress, it almost looks like something her mom would have made for her. Because me coming up in a family with my mom and dad both had a big family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big baby boomer families. And so a lot of times there was either hand-me-downs or they would literally just make the girls dresses and shit every year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so like even my mom and her sisters were always still making clothes and shit when I was young. In fact, I always had some of the coolest costumes growing up because my mom would literally sew me like a Spider-Man outfit from head to toe, or a Superman outfit and shit like that. And it was actually pretty cool looking. I mean, so like I had that going for me. So to me, that's the way I saw it. Was just like, oh, it's one of those things where she has so many fucking kids. But then I didn't stop to think about how big that goddamn house is. Because of course I'm a kid. I have no concept of that at that point.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I'm like, what the fuck do they do? And I get it. In movies and TV shows, that's always one of the biggest, like, how the fuck do they afford to live there kind of things? Because the only ones that ever made sense were The Cosby Show and Full House.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cosby Show, obviously, you got a doctor and a lawyer. Or a pediatrician and a lawyer. A pediatrician being even more, prolific in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and of course, what's the other one I just mentioned? Jesus Christ. Full House, because
Full
Danny was on TV.
Yeah.
Right. So, and he hosted his own fucking morning show. So I
yeah.
can believe he can afford that big of a house in San Francisco. So like, those are the only two fucking shows where I've ever believed that the family, or Perfect Strangers, because that's a pretty smallish apartment.
Yeah.
For Chicago, I guess, but Larry living there on his own, on the job he has.
Yeah. Did you hear the theory about Al Bundy? Why they could afford to live in such a nice house on a shoemaker's salary who worked at the mall?
Well, back then you actually could get a house and get a decent loan because houses weren't that expensive.
No.
But keeping up with the taxes as they would go up and up over the years, that was the bigger problem. Before we had the housing crisis. But yeah, I mean, the Bundy's house for where it's at, for the price, it's not much different than Archie Bunker's house.
No, not too much.
Which you could see Archie affording a house like that with as many years as he's worked at the dock. But yeah, that's just it. Al's been working at the shoe store for how many fucking years now?
Yeah. The theory I saw somebody put out, they said that the reason he could afford to live there and keep his job and never get fired was because they were in the witness protection program.
That's hilarious.
Somebody said that's why he could go in and do whatever he wanted at the shoe store and never worry about getting fired. And they always kept their house because the government was paying it for him. And that's why he hated his life so much.
There's always that other thing is like back then it was probably like maybe her dad bought him the house or something like that.
Yeah, it was probably.
I could see that.
He probably could afford it. Back then, like things were cheaper, so like
Well, you never know. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just or not like a dowry thing, but like it's just kind of one of those things. Like you said, things were cheaper back then. Sometimes one of the parents would do that for newlyweds because you could afford it back then, right? Like, I mean, I remember even like my my eldest uncle and aunt on my mom's side, like like the first place they lived in was a place that my grandparents had gotten for them. The first place my parents rented was a place that my grandparents owned.
Yeah.
And now my uncle and aunt own. So like, yeah, it's like, so I mean, yeah, it's kind of typical of things like that. I question that less than some other shows. Cause I mean, it wasn't like it was a mansion.
No,
right?
It was like a normal middle class house.
Yeah.
So,
like Roseanne, it's not much bigger than Roseanne's house.
And even then, like there's excuses for Roseanne because even their house, I mean, it was like a normal house and they, she did own her own restaurant at one point on the show. So
well, and they were constantly going through like the same struggle, and I seen all the ups and downs through my folks in the 80s and 90s. Man, I seen, there was a time when my dad could afford to work and my mom didn't have to, and then when both of my parents were working, and then there was a huge, boom for a while there, and my parents sold one house, bought another house, and then we moved up in houses from time to time, and then all of a sudden they lost that house after the housing crisis went down, and ever since then, they pretty much, they bought like one other house and that was it. because they lost that and the crunch and shit, and it was ever since then they've been renting and bopping from here to there. Luckily, they found a place now for the last few years, other than when they were taking care of my grandma. But like, yeah, it got to a point where I saw my parents go from the high highs to the low lows, and it's all been in my lifetime. It's just crazy because, I mean, my parents had a house at one point that was really nice, and considering, but it's.
I know all about that. I know all about that, man. We had a nice house. My parents, we had a nice house, and then we lost our house, and then we moved into what are those called? They're not condos, but they're like
Townhouse.
Where they're sort of like, here's a house, here's a 2-story house. They're all connected. I guess maybe like a townhouse. I don't know.
It's either a condo or a townhouse.
Like sort of like a condo, and then we lost that, and I went homeless for like 3 months one time, so we lost everything. Now,
right,
we got a house. I got a house, they got a house, we're good. But it was hard. Right. I know all about going from the highest highs to the lowest of lows to being to where we're at now. So. Yeah.
But anyway, Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are Christmas staples. I don't care what anybody says.
They are, and the kids love it. It's one of the few of my movies that I grew up with that they actually like. So, of course, though, I see why. But okay, let's go to you, Tom, if you're ready for the next one.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, whatever you got. I got 3 left. I don't know how many you got.
Oh, I've got a ton here. Maybe I should knock a couple out here, but we'll see here. All right, the only Christmas one, because as we haven't noticed, I've kind of been doing Christmas ones on accident. I'm on Christmas protests this year, because fuck women, but whatever. Anyway, unless there's a good one out there. So this is one I was... Yeah, exactly. This was one I was kind of looking forward to, but the jump from quality to 4K was not as astronomical as I was hoping, but I kind of had a weird feeling it wouldn't be, because I know this is a slightly older scan. But the movie in question was actually a title that I would have argued was reference quality when it first came out on DVD, and I double-checked it again, and it still looks pretty damn good, and that's Steven Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Arguably Spielberg's last good movie, and I didn't realize how poignant this would be considering the trailer that just came out.
I didn't even finish it.
You're not breaking any new ground, Spielberg. I'm just going to tell you now. But yeah, this new 4K Blu-ray comes from the same exact scan as this other Blu-ray. So if you already have this Blu-ray, you're not going to notice a huge uptick from this to this. But it is good. It does look good. The music is good. I mean, this is a movie that if you don't own, it is one of Spielberg's best as far as his last, 10 years or whatever worth of work. I wouldn't say it was his best movies. Let me take that back. It's his best of his latter, one of the best of his latter films. There.
Yeah, one of his best of his latter newer films.
And I feel like I brought this on not too long ago.
Maybe. I don't know how long ago it was, but I think it's within the realm of
this has had a 4K scan for a while, because the version that's been on digital that I've had forever has been 4K, because I had that before I even had the Blu-ray. And the only reason I have the Blu-ray is because I found it when Best Buy was chucking out their Blu-rays or whatever. It was in like a $5 bin. And I even asked him, like, do you have any more of these? Because the cover was like mangled. And like, no, it looks like that's the last copy we got in the store, because he looked on the computer.
Dang.
But it was just happened to be one that I hadn't upgraded yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I can tell, there's absolutely no new special features that I know of, but I didn't really go through that aspect of it, but I don't think there's anything new. But yeah, no, I think it's not even badly priced. I think the non-Steelbook edition is only like $5 cheaper. I think that one's in the $20 range, 25 range, and then the Steelbook I think I got for 30. So, and it's not the best looking Steelbook in the world, but it's not bad looking. It kind of captures pretty much what the movie is, although I wish it would have just been the original poster art. I guess maybe, I don't know. I mean, this isn't the best of Spielberg's poster art, so
no.
Either way, I mean, I guess this isn't.
It's all right. I mean, it's who's in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of captures the whole title sequence kind of thing going on here.
That's
I
when
mean, I
like
kinda-
poster art and everything was starting to get lazy, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, now the title sequence, yeah, is a little bit more memorable than the actual poster art ever was. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, like even the top title there, they could have put with the arrows because I know, like I think we recognize the Catch Me If You Can arrows.
yeah,
You know what
this
I mean?
version of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
those two arrows. I think that's like one of the memorable things on the
See,
poster.
they use that on the back though instead.
Yeah. Oh,
So.
yeah. It should have used it on another thing.
Mhm. And they did on the old Blu-ray. See, they still use the title, but they
Yeah,
didn't.
like
They
that.
used the
Yeah.
shittier picture, I guess. But
Yeah. Bunch of clip
shittier. What are you gonna do? They didn't really do a good art for this one, so yeah,
Yeah.
I can't really speak to that. But yeah, it does have a Christmas theme to it. I forgot because there's that thing that every year Frank and um Hanratty end up talking on Christmas, and he ends up getting caught on Christmas. So I like some of Spielberg's early 2000s output, says Captain Kryptonian. This movie, a minority part, might be in the minority though. Yeah, no, those two are probably his best of his latter films. Like this is kind of where from here the he goes downhill, because from here he does The Terminal or whatever it was called, which was
Oh yeah.
a boring ass movie, and then he did War of the Worlds, and I have a problem with War of the Worlds. It's an alright remake of War of the Worlds, don't get me wrong, but Spielberg is a hypocrite for making that movie.
Oh, he's back to Aliens now. So.
Well, not yeah, I know, and here's the reason why I say he's a hypocrite, because he was asked several times over the years if he would do another Alien movie after E.T., and he says, nah, probably not really. I think I've said all I have to say about Aliens since I did Close Encounters and E.T., and I don't remember exactly how they asked, but they said, like, would you ever do a movie where the aliens were the bad guys or something like that? I don't remember exactly how they asked it, but his response was, no, I would never do a movie where the aliens are the bad guys. Fast forward to he's remaking War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
One of the most famous bad guy alien stories there is. And this movie, we have no idea yet if the aliens are good guys or bad guys.
Right.
But for those who don't know, some of his concept for Close Encounters kind of made its way into Gremlins. Because I don't know if you knew this or not, but like there was a sequel that was supposed to be for Close Encounters before it ended up becoming E.T. And it was more like Gremlins.
Oh.
It was basically like this farmhouse and this family being terrorized by these aliens overnight.
Critters.
Like a Critters, Signs kind of movie, exactly.
Yeah,
It was more in line with that, but he changed his mind because he didn't want the aliens to be bad guys. And so it became Close Encounters. Or it was going to be a Close Encounters sequel, but then it became E.T., because it was more about just one alien and then this kid befriending the alien and blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I got the two stories mixed up.
No,
But you know what I mean.
okay.
It came in
Yeah, I
between
get
the two.
Yeah.
Because E.T. technically kind of started as a Close Encounters sequel, and then it kind of just became its own
E.T.
thing.
I get you. But no, Catch Me If You Can is a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it in a few years. It always also for whatever reason, I guess because it's Tom Hanks, it always makes me also
Clark and Steven know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Night Skies. There you go.
I think it was called either Watch the Skies or Night Skies. In fact, in Gremlins, there's a marquee that has A Boy's Life and Watch the Skies, which are the working titles for Close Encounters and E.T., and I think he was going to use Watch the Skies again, or Dark Skies or Night Skies or something like that. Steven, you're probably right. Was the original title was what it was going to be, because it was supposed to be more of a horror, leaning into horror.
Yeah.
But then he changed his mind, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was going to be more in the vein of Gremlins. Is kind of why I brought that up. It was going to have that kind of a tone to it.
Christmas movie as well. Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know why. I guess because of Tom Hanks. This Catch Me If You Can always makes me think of where Tom Hanks movie he directed where there's singers. It's about a
That Thing You Do.
That Thing You Do. Yeah. I don't know why.
I guess the period, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know why. It just does. I think it's just because of Tom Hanks, maybe.
Otherwise, I think they're almost 10. No, not 10 years, maybe 5 years apart. But I guess there's another one that can kind of go off that. I think I might have talked about this movie already, so let me know if I did. But this came to Blu-ray mighty quick, and so I grabbed it because this is slowly becoming my favorite film of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish I knew why, because I shouldn't. Because for those who don't know, this movie is basically the movie that took the place of the movie that Keke Palmer tried to cancel Bill Murray on.
Mhm.
So like most of that cast is in this, and Aziz Ansari, I think, is even the director. So this is his directorial debut. And this is a funny, fucking cute, sweet movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I do yourself a favor. I don't even mind Seth Rogen in it so much. It's kind of a
What?
reverse. I know, right? Well, I think he only does his laugh like maybe 2 or 3 times in the movie total, and he doesn't do it in like an annoying way most of the time. But he plays a fucking asshole in it, so it's like he's almost perfect for the role. But it is kind of a reversal of Wonderful Life / Christmas Carol kind of feeling to it, although it has nothing to do with the holiday.
Right.
And it's one of the few films where I say, go ahead and check out I should show off the cover too. Where I say, go check out the trailer. Because the trailer actually does not give everything away, and it actually is pretty funny, and it's like, okay, that looks like a cute movie. So yeah, so what's the gist of this film? And it kind of goes with this cover, because it's not a steelbook, as you'll see. It's not, but it's not a typical disc either. So what the movie is about is Aziz Ansari is this struggling guy who can't seem to keep a job. He's been working like odd end jobs, living out of his car. And he happens to because he's signed up to like this odd job kind of app where you just do jobs for people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's based on a real thing. I can't think of what it's called, but like Fiverr type of thing, or whatever, where you come in and you just do something for somebody, like clean their garage out, which is what he does, or you put together somebody's desk, which I think he also does, and some other stuff in there. And then like, so he goes to his house to do some of those things for him. And he kind of like, I heard you were looking for an assistant. He's like, well, I kind of am. And he's like, all right, well, let's try it for a week kind of thing. So he does. And after about a week, something happens to where Aziz Ansari gets fired right away. And of course, the same time everything else goes to hell for him, he loses his car because it gets towed away and everything like that. So he has like nothing now, absolutely nothing. And Keanu Reeves is an angel. He's a guardian angel, but his job is simple. He has one job and one job only, because as you see here, he's got little wings. So he's just a little angel. He's not a big angel. He's a little angel. So he's only got little job to do. His job is to stop people from driving and texting. That's it. That's his job. But he wants more. He wants to save people, like some of the more important angels, right? And he sees that Aziz Ansari's character is about ready to give up. So he kind of does some shit he's not supposed to, and tries to show Aziz Ansari that his life isn't as bad as he thinks it is, and it doesn't quite work out so well. So then he gets the bright idea to swap these two guys' lives to show him that being rich doesn't exactly, fix everything and make all your problems go away. Only unfortunately, it did fix everything and make all his problems go away. So now he doesn't want to switch back.
Yeah.
That's just the beginning of the story. I don't even want to go any farther than that, because that's just the beginning of it. Because from there, it gets even more interesting. And this is what's cool about the cover, because as you'll see here, you get to see their reversal. And if you notice, this is why I didn't say too much about it before, Keanu's missing something there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what this becomes then is kind of a comedy remake in a way of the Nicolas Cage French film. I'm trying to think of the name of the original one.
City of Angels.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the name of the original film, because that's the one that Aziz said that he based it upon, sort of. Wings of something or other. I'm just trying to remember the name of it. But anyhow, so just to go a little bit further than this, so Keanu gets in trouble for doing this, and he gets shit canned.
Really?
Yeah, so he gets fired too. So he's stuck without his power and his wings. So now he's, for the first time ever in thousands of years, experiencing what it's like to be human. So you have that story on top, and that's what I didn't want to give away too much about. So I'm not going to say anything more than that. You guys need to see this movie, because there's even more twists and turns in it. And I got to give Aziz Ansari credit. This is a very well-written, funny film that we have not had this type of movie in a while, where it doesn't take itself too seriously, doesn't lean anywhere near the woke shit. Even though Keke Palmer's in it, I don't care. It's funny. Check it out if you haven't had a chance to yet. It's already on disc, even though it only came out on streaming, I think like 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Maybe it has been a month. But I remember I did talk about it a little while ago.
Yeah, you did talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
So So yeah, it's kind of got this weird flappy cover going for it, like thing. So
yeah, one of those.
And this shot here is a direct reference to that City of Angels film, the original.
The Wings of Desire, I think.
Is that what it was called? Wings? I thought it was, but I was like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like a porno or a fucking 80s band.
It does sound like porno.
Red Wings of Desire.
Wings of Desire. I'm your angel, baby.
Yeah.
Do you find it strange?
Her nose red wings.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't ask Bill Murray to be part of it. I don't think it's strange. I think it's because of Keke Palmer.
I think so, and it's because that movie got destroyed. And I wish they would have chose Bill over that, because it'd have been funny to have Bill like play one of the older angels or God or something like that, even though God is not in this movie, so don't get that. Because like even Seth Rogen's like, I demand to talk to God right now. He's like, that's above my pay grade. Who is your boss? Martha. Your boss is an angel named Martha? Yes. What's beautiful about this movie? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I cannot believe you like this movie. I can't. It's like surprising me.
You want to know why I like it? It's because it's kind of hilarious. I watched the making of, because that's the other thing, is the Blu-ray actually does have some special features on it. But Keanu was actually nervous about doing the movie because he's like, I'm with all these comedians and stuff. I'm like, dude, you were fucking Ted.
Bill and Ted.
You started as a comedic actor. Did you forget this? And I'm like, he must have forgot it, because dude is pretty much channeling Ted again. Right. Not exactly Ted, but that childlike nature of Ted. And that's why I love his performance in this movie, is because he is so just like, as somebody who has observed humanity for this long and he gets to finally experience it, you kind of just relish those moments, especially. And then when he gets to the other side of that, when he realizes that life isn't all what it's, you know what I mean? Like, and he starts to understand why Aziz Ansari's character, Jeff or whatever, didn't like his life. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So because he kind of basically is in the same position he is, but yeah, sorry, I didn't want to give away too much.
It almost feels like Keanu Reeves, with like how somebody who had to view humanity from one point, then went through some really rough stuff and came out,
kind of. But I mean, okay, so like, to not give away too much, at the midpoint, what happens after Keanu gets fired is he has to pretty much convince Aziz Ansari's character that he has to show him in some way that his life would be better off in his own life. But he has to convince him in a way that it's his choice, right? He can't just force it to happen.
Right. So
Seth Rogen is kind of stuck. And at first, Seth has no idea, right? Like, his character is just stuck in this world where they basically swapped lives. And then when he brings him to, because he does that just before he loses his powers, of course, Seth Rogen's pissed. And that's when he demands, he goes, I want to see God. That kind of shit, because he's like, I got gypped. This is bullshit. I want my life back. So then that kind of is going off for the second half of the film, where the deal is like, if again, it's like, he has to do it, because at first he's like, all right, I'll do it, but I want a week living your life. And they're like, okay, fine. And then at the end of the week, they realize it doesn't work because he can't just switch him back. But then something else happens that gets in the way. So like, those two are stuck kind of just surviving now, because they can't swap back. Like, it's kind of like, again, I don't want to say too much because it'll give away too much of the movie, because I've already given away way too much of the movie. But no, I do see it. It's funny as shit. It's got some great one-liners. Keanu Reeves, of course, steals the show. I mean, let's be real. I mean, he is. And there's this ongoing joke that every girl's like, you can give him my number. You that hot guy, that tall guy, the sexy guy,
Which is that is true to Keanu.
I'm gonna go sit on his face. I'm sure he'll find that very confusing.
That is true to Keanu's character as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like the moments of like,
yeah.
Who's that guy you came in with? Oh, Gabriel? Yeah, him. He's tall and sexy. I'm gonna go sit on his face. Like, every girl just wants to fuck him. So it's like real life.
Yeah, the real life. I am just like, honestly, I'm so surprised that you love this movie, especially with the cast.
I know, the trailer tricked me into it, and then I got into it, and I got into it, and I'm like, okay, I like this movie. I shouldn't, but it's a good role for Seth, because of, like I said, he's playing this asshole, but he's kind of the character that is the Scrooge character in a way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he has to go through the other side of this as well. And again, I'm giving away too much of the fucking movie now, but it becomes more of, it's not so much about saving, the Aziz Ansari character as much as it is showing, the Seth Rogen character that there's more to life than what he does, because he's this, basically silver spoon fed baby his whole life, and he just got rich because he got lucky that he invested in, some, like satellite deal or something. I can't remember what it was, some cell phone deal, and then something else, and rolled that over into something else. So he literally doesn't do anything. Right? Like that's his whole life. Like he doesn't do jack shit. So like, yeah.
Makes sense. I may have to check this movie out. I may have to. I just do not like Keke Palmer though.
She's barely in it. She's kind of again, I don't want to give away too much because she is a major part of the movie, but she doesn't overshadow the movie so much that you're kind of like, oh yeah. She comes in when the movie needs her. And she is, and I don't want to say she is the key to everything, but she kind of is a point where you're like, okay, her job, let me put it this way. What Keanu did disrupted what was supposed to be her life. If that makes sense. Like part of her life, because him and her life converge at that point.
Right.
And Keanu getting in the midst of that really fucked all that up.
Right.
So it's kind of like a Back to the Future kind of thing almost. Not necessarily with kids, but like, we were supposed to get these two together and you fucked that up.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. So like she's there, but she's in like the background as the girlfriend all the time. And she doesn't really become important to the story till the third act more so. Right. She comes in about second act, is there kind of in the background. Third act, she's in the background again some more. Like she's a part of the story, and then she kind of goes back again. And then when she needs to be there, she's there. Like I said, she doesn't overshadow the story like they normally would with movies nowadays with her, where they make her this big uber part of the. No, her role is she's technically the girlfriend till you find out what her role is later on. And even though she is a key to this, she's not the key to everything, right? Like it is, but it isn't. Once you see it, you'll understand, I think.
Right.
Because all these characters meet for a reason, right? It's like, it's all kind of like this fate kind of thing in a way by the end. And it is a very Christmas Carol, Wonderful Life kind of movie. And that's why I said, even though it's not a holiday movie, it fits that mold.
Yeah.
You can tell, it's definitely paying homage to those kind of movies, including City of Angels or Wings of Desire or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
While also being very comedic.
I may have to check this one out because Tom is praising it. So I'm surprised. I may have to check this one out.
It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but
yeah. Well, a couple new movies I've actually seen this year is not everybody's cup of tea, but I've really enjoyed them. So,
but I'm serious when I say so far this year, this might be my favorite movie of 2025. I mean, I got to go back and look through the movies. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did love Superman and all that kind of business, but I will be the first to say, along with some others, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. It wasn't as good as the Donner Superman by far, but it's a good ass movie, and it's definitely my top 5. But I'll be damned if this might not be my favorite movie. I'm trying to think of another movie that have I praised as much this year.
I think the only other movie we have praised, both of us have praised this year, Final Destination's Bloodline.
Yeah, but that's not top of the year though. That's like top.
John
10.
Waters put that in his top movies of the year.
I mean, I put it in my top 10 so far, but that would be like my 10th movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I have seen 4 new movies this year. That's about. I've only seen 4 new.
I like
movies
Spinal Tap 2, but that's definitely not top of the top 5. No, this is definitely up there. Like this is definitely up there. I'm trying to think of anything else I might have seen this year, and I can't. Nothing's sticking out. I'd have to go look again and see what came out this year.
I'd have to see a few more movies, but I know. But my favorite new movie I've seen this year, and I haven't got it yet because it's not out yet, but I liked Black Phone 2. That was like my favorite movie of the year.
I never saw the first one yet, so
I really.
But I think the director blocked me. Isn't that the guy who did? What's his face?
Yeah.
Who did Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange, yeah, and everything. Which is funny because it's like I don't know. There was just something about Black Phone 2, and maybe it was because also it is very Freddy Krueger centric, like, and we had just watched all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because I got because I think they came out about the
See,
same
now
time.
I had the opposite effect with Terrifier because right after watching the Nightmare movies, I was like, ugh, this is
Right.
kind of hard to get through now.
Well, I was. It's weird because I was like, I watched those, and then I watched the Black Phone 2, and it was just a really good, solid movie, and it is very much. Go ahead.
I was to say F1 was pretty good. Uncle Remus.
I haven't seen F1 yet. I do need to see F1.
I don't know if I'd still like. It's good, but I've seen so many movies like it. And I know I agree with you, Style Section. Sorry, Aziz Ansari. Yeah, he's not like most of this cast. 99% of this cast, I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Right? Like I talk about on a daily basis. Like Seth has got his own button. You know, like, and I hate Seth Rogen with a passion. Like there's somebody that I probably hate most on earth because he's destroyed something I love so dear. It's Seth Rogen, for fuck's sake. Of all things, I know that's kind of hard to believe, guys, but through Star Wars and Kevin Smith, even with He-Man, that's not as bad as Ninja Turtles was for me. Like watching that in the theater, I was just fucking beside myself. So yeah, for me to say that this movie, and Keanu really carries a lot of it, but I gotta give credit where credit's fucking due. Aziz Ansari does a good job. He's a likable character in the movie. You kind of get where he's coming from. I mean, there's even a great part where he kind of shows him what his life's supposed to be, and he's like, that sucks. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's not the worst life in the world, but why did you show me that? Like, yeah, because his life coming up isn't all that great. You know, it's not horrible, like he said, but like, you know, so like he's really funny. And like I said, Seth Rogen was well cast because he's playing this guy you're not supposed to like. And then when you do start to get to like him, it's because you see him, you know, what a movie is supposed to do. You see him struggling and going through the things. So you kind of see, and he's, you know, befriending Gabriel. So you have that aspect of it to where, you know, because he does technically start kind of taking care of Gabriel at one point. Because he even says, I can't keep supporting both of us. Like, you got to get a job. It's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. What could I be? And I'm not going to tell the rest of the because that's what I'm saying. Every scene has really great little jokes in it. And I'm like, wow, this movie managed to pull it off. It wasn't just like 5 funny jokes that are in the trailer. It's actually a solid 98-minute movie comedy. So yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I have to give it a shot.
Go on.
Yeah. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go from there? I don't have anything to bounce off of that. I guess I could just talk about this real quick because I'm the only one that's seen it, and I guess it's a comedy. All right. Well, I went back and I watched the second season of Holliston because it started with the Christmas episode, the Christmas special, and that's why I watched it. And it's real quick and easy to watch. And if you're a horror fan and you love stuff like that, there you go. So I don't know what outside of like, you know, what you just talked about. I don't really know, you know, what to go off of that. Other than this was one of my favorite shows that I come to like, and I do a little rewatch every once in a while. And you know, if you're, like I said, if you're a horror fan, this is something I definitely recommend you guys watch because it's so many nods to so many great horror movie characters, like the Christmas episode. That's why I started off with that because I love their Christmas special. It's like an hour long, and you know it plays into all the like the Punish, you know, like Silent Night, Deadly Night. It plays into that, and like being stuck in a snowstorm, and like it also like it combines these really great elements of like sitcom humor of like, oh no, let's do like a flashback episode, but also you know all this stuff happens and stuff, and it's really good, and it like leads into the season and everything. And like I said, Kane Hodder, Danielle Harris, what's his name? Candyman, which I just blinked on his name.
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd's in it. Sid Haig is in it. This is one of the last. Sid Haig's one of his last performances before he passed away. He guest stars in it. Seth Green is in it, and it connects to all these like horror movies and everything. And like they go to, you know, it's a fun little show. If you've never seen it, I do recommend it. So yeah, I don't have much to go off it on that other than I did, you know, I have the Blu-ray and I was watching the Christmas episode of the season. It's only like 10 episodes or like 20 minutes a piece. So, cause you know, without commercials and everything. But yeah, there you goes. There you guys have it. I don't have much to say on that. I'd hate to send it right back to you so soon after we just had that big
No, I wish I
discussion
could
on
have speak on that though. I've never seen it, but I do have a bit of breaking news thanks to
Yeah.
Hank Ronson.
Oh yeah, the
who
Halloween.
pointed this out. Yeah, like I'm surprised I didn't see this sooner. This $500 box set. Have you seen this motherfucker
Yeah,
yet?
from Imprint. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tempting. But I guess they're having an issue with the jack-o'-lantern, so that it has been delayed now.
I think that it says it's been canceled. The jack-o'-lantern one has been canceled.
That might be. Let me see here. It says it has been a long road for Halloween 1 to 5, with our planned October release pushed out to December due to manufacturing delays and many challenges along the way. Unfortunately, we have found a manufacturing flaw in the first stages of shipping with our limited edition jack-o'-lantern packaging, which has led us to cancel distribution of this release. Yes, you are correct. The unacceptable structural defects, I can't read today, compromise the integrity of this. So it's a normal day. That's why. The integrity of the pumpkin packaging only, and in no way affects the 13 discs or the steelbook. This decision has not been made lightly, but ultimately, as the packaging did not pass our rigorous quality standards, we cannot allow. Damn, they must have lost a lot of money on this.
Yeah,
Wow, I feel bad for them.
I do. And they were already getting a little heat for how much it cost to begin with.
Yeah.
So-
But I mean, I understand it looked bitching as hell, but I can see where if it
It
just
did.
wasn't going to ship, then they're like, fuck, we can't do this.
I'm
So they spent money on that, and then they ended up probably reimbursing everybody, I bet.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised they've never just put the Halloween movies in a pumpkin, like the sphere for.
There was the one with the Michael Myers mask that one time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, you're right. I would love a set in the Halloween 2 pumpkin.
Exactly. I'm surprised they.
Or actually, you know, it'd be really cool, and I know this would cost a fortune, is if it would be like the pumpkin on the outside, then you start to open it up, and then it's the skull, like 2, and then that then opens up, and you have all the films on the inside. But I'm getting kind of tired of those box sets because I have no room for them. I got the Karate Kid and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, they're like there's no shelves. There's no way to put them on your shelves. Do you see the big Death of Superman thing?
That thing, I don't even understand anybody who's going to buy that.
I like the tombstone though, like with the big old tombstone.
I know, but do you guys
cool.
realize that is the most overprinted, most worthless fucking comic in the history of comics? I shit you not. There was this guy who was at a rummage sale for that he either worked at or used to own a collectibles shop or something like that. He must have, because he had a buttload of old comics and cards and shit, and I bought some stuff off him. And just for buying stuff off him, he literally gave me copies of The Death of Superman still in the packaging because he had boxes of the bastards. I'm like, you sure you don't want a few bucks for these? He's like, no. He's like, I got to give them away. He's like, I've had them for years.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't get rid of them any other time. He's like, just take them. He's
He's
like, one per customer as long as you bought something.
It is. But no, I can't deny, as a Superman fan, I like the tombstone, and it's not just like the death, but it's also the rebirth and all the like the whole story about death and return and all that. But no, you're not wrong. I've got
Remus is right. Toilet paper is worth more.
You're not wrong. I've got so many copies of the Death of Superman. So.
And not only that, it was just look, it was, I get it as I almost compare it to Scream, right? Like, you know, the Scream effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because it became this breaking point for comic books. From that moment on, I know a lot of us say, oh, comic books in the last few years. No, go back. That moment was the moment that comic books were broke. Because it became all about the events. It became all about selling multiple copies. It became about selling this cover and that cover even more so than before. Yeah. Death of Superman was kind of like a ground zero for every problem that was going to come the comic book, because like that was it. That was like the last real big baboom. Like, yeah, you had Walking Dead and a few other things that would come along and but whatnot. But like at that point, that's literally like the end of a, you know.
They all thought, like, because this comic book sales of older comics were doing so well, they thought if they had variant cover 1, 2, 3, and 4 and special bags, that those would be worth something, and they overprinted them and they're worth jack. So
Yeah, by the time the rebirth of Superman came along, like I think comic book sales had fallen off to quite a bit. And I don't want to say half, but quite a bit from what they had at that point. Because also people were starting to realize they thought they were buying all these variant covers and shit over the years and other things like that. And they thought this shit was going to put them through college
yeah,
or put their kids through college.
Yep.
And then when they tried to resell these comic books and they realized they weren't worth jack shit because everybody else collected the same fucking comic books. It's like,
yep.
it's the same reason some of these toys, it's like almost cheaper to go buy old versions of the original toys than it is to buy some of these redos now.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Turtles is a great example. He-Man's a great example. Like you can go and buy old out of the box, used versions of the classic toys, originals, cheaper than you can most of the redone shit. It's the same thing with some of these comic books now too.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're talking about specific issues or specific runs, outside of the old school shit back in the 70s and beyond, it ain't worth all that much because everybody kept the shit in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you got a premiere issue, which is a rarity, then worth what they used to be.
It's true. It's true. But no, anyways,
Sorry.
I know I didn't have much to say on Holliston. I knew I was the only one that watched it, and I started it because I like watching their Christmas special, and then after I watched that, it tend to get into the show after that the season because it's that sets up a lot for the season of the show, and I don't know, I just really connect, like some of the stuff in that stuff like you just can't get away with in today's day and age and everything, and like even the one guy, because they're both directors, it's Adam Green and Joe Lynch, and they're playing characters because it's created by Adam Green who did the Hatchet movies, but like Joe Lynch today is not the same person that he was in that. He's some of the stuff he does in that show I don't think he would do today because of today's day entertainment in it. But anyways, it's a fun show. If you've never seen it, if you're a big horror fan, and it's I would say it's a show made by nerds for nerds, whereas like I've had this argument before is like the Big Bang Theory, because I mentioned that compared to this, and even talked to Adam Green about comparing it to that. Like the Big Bang Theory feels like it's making fun of nerds, not in on a joke with nerds. Whereas Holliston, if it was given a better chance on a better network, it feels like it's a show laughing with nerds and getting things right. But anyways, with that being said, I have 2 left. How many do you have?
Oh, too many.
I only have 2 left.
Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna have to start knocking some of these out.
I hated Big Bang Theory too, Deeple, and it's still going. Sadly, it is still going.
All right, let's do these 2 first of all. So after you reminded me last week that I had this, I finally watched Leap of Faith.
Yeah.
And had I watched this sooner, it almost kind of ties in directly with the book I'm reading, because all the stuff that I found out in that book, he says here, basically. And it's funny is that book that I'm reading, that set I brought on last week, that little book that's in there, that's the Exorcist section of that book that I'm reading, and I didn't even realize it.
Oh, no.
So that exact book. But yeah, so like, what is this? This is basically an interview that was conducted a couple of years before Friedkin had died for Shudder. Well, they put it on Shudder, but it's not bad. It's got a lot of cool photos and I think there's some video and film footage in there, but it's just mainly a one-on-one, or it is all a one-on-one with Friedkin. And it was a little bit better than I anticipated it was going to be at first, because when I first started watching it, I'm like, not what I thought it was going to be, but then it got a little bit better. But again, none of the information in it that I found out was anything that I didn't already find out from his book. But in this, he does talk about Stacy Keach and some other things that I found out in the book before that I thought were just there, but it's here too. So yeah, thanks for recommending that to me, and I appreciate it. Yeah. And then in the book, I got to the next part, which was Sorcerer, and I finally got around to watching Sorcerer. And so what is this about?
Is it good?
It is a good film. Although it was kind of not received very well when it first came out. And I don't think it did all that great at the box office either. I think it lost a bunch of money, and he talks a lot about that in the book. But it's about I was almost Canadian there for a minute.
What's up,
It's a
babe?
boot. It's a boot. These four guys who are charged with driving two trucks filled with nitroglycerin up a very rocky terrain in the jungle to get to the burning fields. And if they can do that, they will get pardons. And Roy Scheider's probably the only main well-known member of this crew. But it's just a very unwielding, unrelenting, very, like, you have to see, like, you get to this point with this movie where it is almost torture to watch it, but it's like you have to see it through. Almost like the gentlemen that are on this quest.
Right.
And to hear Friedkin talk about when he made this movie and what he went through to make this movie, like, this was his Jaws. There's his Star Wars in a way, but it didn't become that. Even though Exorcist had that success, this was the movie they put his heart and soul into. And I think eventually ended up leading to his heart attack a little later. He did not have it during the making of this. He did have a mental breakdown during the making of this movie, though.
Yeah.
And he turned into a megalomaniac, if I'm saying it correctly, during the making of this film, too. Because it became one of those just impossible feats that he, again, Friedkin being fucking Friedkin.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it any other way but his way. And again, though, the movie shines for it. Like, it is one of those movies where I'm glad I finally got a chance to see it. Is it his best? No, but it's one of those movies that people have been telling me for years I have to see when they find out I haven't seen it.
Right. And
you got to get past the first, like, 20, 30 minutes. Because, like, it's a Friedkin film where he does not explain shit to you. You are along for the ride, and by the time you figure out what the fuck's going on, you're already in the vehicle with these guys heading up the hill going, oh my God, one wrong bump, and these fucking trucks are going to go kaboom.
Right.
And I mean, these guys figure out why there's two of them gone, because one of us is a backup. Right? And again, I can't say much more about the movie. You almost have to see it yourself. It's a remake, but I can't remember what the original film was called.
Wages of Fear.
Wages of Fear, yes, thank you. And yeah, a lot of the critics at the time just dismissed it as another remake and this, that, and the other. And it also came out, he goes, it's funny because in the book he talks about how, this was the moment he realized his type of movie making had ended and he needed to change. And this is exactly the point where Tarantino's talking about, where he says that he doesn't like movies anymore. Right? And I guarantee you Tarantino loved Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Because it is a 1970s film. But what else came out in 1977, kids?
Star Wars.
And what else? What was the number 2 movie that year? Smokey and the Bandit. So we got to a point where people were not wanting movies like they had been seeing the last
Sounds
decade.
very familiar.
Exactly. So he realized at that time people didn't want ambiguous endings. They didn't want ambiguous characters. They didn't want gray characters. They wanted well-defined good guys and bad guys. And he had the chance to, even direct movies like Jaws and turned them down because he just didn't get it. Right? Like, it wasn't his thing, like,
Yeah.
and he had a chance to produce Star Wars and turned it down because he just didn't get it.
That is kind of, and I don't mean to cut you off, but that is kind of interesting because, like, so many of us, I think, are so sick and tired of the sympathetic, it's not in the same way, but like the sympathetic villain where, like, they're also like, you got to root for the villain and the hero. There's no clear good and bad anymore because the bad is also good.
We're kind of getting back around to that place again, but we're not coming off of an era of good films, though. That's the problem.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah. And people were, I think, longing for despite, I think that's one of the reasons, like, maybe that It TV series did so well is because it's such a clear division of he's pure evil. He's nothing to connect with. You're not, oh, he's so sympathetic. He's this, he's that. He's just fucking eating kids. And you have these good people going through them, but you're still inserting the messaging.
I don't think people realized how big those movies were either.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, you're
First
right
of all,
too,
it has not been exploited to death like a lot of other franchises.
That is very true.
But people forget that second film made like $1 billion.
Even though it
I'm not even shitting you. Like,
that's like what sucks.
Yeah, it's not even that good, right? Like, the first one did very, 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 very well. I don't think that one cracked $1 billion, but it came close. But the second one, I believe, cracked $1 billion.
Yeah.
And that's why this show is doing so well.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cool, whatever. A lot of people like the new It.
Yeah,
We're not exactly in that camp, but
Yeah.
I watched a few minutes of that dairy show. It just wasn't my bag.
But no, like I think that's also one of the reasons why horror movies. And I know we'll get back to Sorcerer. I don't want to.
No, no worries.
But I think that's one of the reasons why some of the horror movies are doing so well is because you have these clear cut bad guys. You know what I mean? Which horror always does well, but you have these bad guys that are just pure evil, and you have good triumphing over evil, and you've got to the point now where like everybody is shades of good and bad. It's just like it's ridiculous, and it's all boring and gray, and there's like no.
Steven corrected me, and he's right. I got him flip flopped. The first one did almost $1 billion. The second one did almost 500 million.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But together they did like over $1 billion, quite a bit. So
I did watch the first episode. I didn't mind it. I watched the second episode. And that one's a slog to get through.
My understanding is that Pennywise doesn't even come until near the end anyway.
Yeah. It's the second episode was.
And I think he's in mostly
like
an end credit scene or something like that.
I haven't. I watched the
and
first.
I guess it's setting up a movie that we're supposed to be getting is like another prequel to It.
So I don't know. I'd have to watch. But the second episode is so heavy-handed with the messaging, so heavy-handed. It's a slog to get to that second episode. But anyways, back to Sorcerer. Regardless, let's move on from that. Let's go to Sorcerer.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not much else I can say. There's a distinct difference between the 5.1 and the 2.0 surround mix on here. And this is one of those rare times. I think I might have to lean into the 5.1 mix. Now I know I'm pretty sure Friedkin oversaw it himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why it's also much different. But you could hear things you can't hear as well in the 2.0 stereo mix. But I didn't hate the 2.0 mix. The 2.0 mix is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I flip-flopped through them both quite a bit throughout the film just to kind of hear the differences throughout. And there is a vast difference. But I mean, they're all the same effects. It's just placed and the sound field is much differently positioned. And you hear a lot more surround stuff. And like I said, things that are buried in the original mixer, you can come out a little bit more crisper and cleaner in the 5.1.
Right.
Look wise, it looks pretty good. Fortunately, Friedkin or the studio, and I think the studio obviously probably would have kept it, Warner. But they kept a lot of the negative intact, even though there's a lot of subtitles in the movie. So 99% of the time, or at least 90% of the time, a lot of the subtitled stuff is negative, and they just put new subtitles on it. Mm-hmm. So it isn't like second or third generation shit all the time. Because otherwise, a good portion of this movie would not be the negative otherwise.
Right.
Because there's a lot of foreign language in it. So I thought that was a good move on that part. So yeah, I wish I had more to say about it than that. I mean, I don't want to give away too much more than that. I mean, it's a real simple kind of plot, but it's told in a very meticulously, it has a lot of the French Connection kind of vibe to it.
Right.
If that makes sense. Oh, and Tangerine Dream it's their first soundtrack.
Oh,
it's amazing soundtrack
nice.
too. Yeah, I thought it's one I want to pick up. Yeah, if I don't already have it. I think I might actually have it on the album, but
that's nice. That's nice. Captain Krypton wants to know, how did they encode do during the heavy rain scene?
Oh, that's one of the reasons why I flipped over to the 5.1, because the rain sounds okay in the stereo track, but it really, like, you sound like you're in the middle of the downpour. Like, you can tell Friedkin, like he did with The Exorcist, is just like, I want people to be knocked out of their fucking chairs by this soundtrack. Because the way it's amped up in comparison, it's like completely different. Like, I mean, yeah, the original one is your basic 1970s surround sound or stereo track.
Right.
But when he did this remix, it's like, world of difference. Like, you're in the truck half the time. The rain is all over around you. The people are all around you. Like, that's kind of where I started flipping over to the 5.1 more, and I stayed more with that more often. Was I noticed during some crowd scenes, they were very centered, and there were some random voices popping off from the left and right, but they really sounded like they were suffering from some of the limitations of the 1970s analog audio. And then I flipped over to the 5.1 version, and it sounded like a world of difference. I mean, all the same noises, but a completely different soundscape, right? Like, you sounded like you were in the middle of the crowd. didn't sound like it had the limitations of the 1970s audio to it. This is just one of those few times where I felt like the 5.1 mix really made a huge difference. Now, there's a movie that I'll be talking about next week that I tested a little bit about, where I was kind of impressed so far with the 5.1 mix. We'll see how that goes. Because it's not even a version, and it's funny because it's not even a 5.1 mix that sounds this immersive, but what it does is it takes a movie that had a mono mix and gives you a 5.1 mix that almost sounds like what a stereo mix would have sounded like at that time. Because, I mean, stereo did exist. I'm not going to give away the movie, though. So,
Interesting.
we'll have to wait and see what it is next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
I got to tease you a little bit, just the tip.
Just tip. just tip, please. Just. Do you wish Freakin' made more films like The Sorcerer?
Sure, why not? I mean, he had to kind of change with the style, and this is kind of where he started down the road of making a few films he wasn't as proud of, before he finally got around to making some stuff again that was a little bit more up his, in his domain. But yeah.
Debbie does Dallas.
Damn it, you figured out they found the negative. No.
We knew it all along. So I have to pick that one up. I have not seen Sorcerer myself, actually, so I have to get that one.
It's again, it's a very 1970s film.
Mm-hmm.
And it did take me 2 watches to get into it, because the first time I started watching it, I kept getting lost. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because there's not a lot of dialogue, and what there is a lot of foreign dialogue, but then you finally realize what the first 30 or so minutes is setting up all these characters and putting them in the same place at the same time to be in this position is basically what it is. And it just doesn't explain it to you in the way modern film does. So it's a very, like I said, it's a lot like The French Connection. It just kind of throws you into this world, and you're just kind of left to your own devices to kind of figure it out until you kind of get some things explained to you. Right. The only scene that really explains anything is when they're kind of setting up this whole thing. They're like, we're looking for some drivers, and they test a bunch of drivers out, to try out for the job. And, they promise them X amount of money and, stuff like that, and pardon or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, they realize how dangerous the job is. And that's when they're like, yeah, we want to double that. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the only time that anything really gets explained. Otherwise, you're just kind of left on your own to kind of figure out what's going on, because there's not a whole lot of dialogue. It's just a lot of shit happening. Right. It's a lot of show, don't tell. Like, this movie is a very good example of show, don't tell.
That's what I've heard, like everybody talked about the scene on the bridge with the truck.
Oh God, yeah. So. And that scene alone took him 30 fucking days to shoot.
Jeez.
And he talks about it in his book about how, because I can't remember where they said it, whether it's South America somewhere, I can't remember exactly where they were filming it. Because, freaking, he insisted on filming where
where they're going to,
the most impossible place to shoot. And he goes, of course, it was the most horrible shoot I had to deal with in my entire life. And of course, we get to the bridge scene, and the bridge was literally built by our crew over this run of water that the natives claimed never dropped an inch. Never dropped an inch. By the time the bridge was built, the motherfucker was dry as a desert. So they're like, son of a bitch, we already wasted $1 million on this fucking bridge. Now what do we do? So they did some research, and there was a place in Mexico where they claimed that the water never dropped an inch. So they moved the entire fucking bridge at great expense to Mexico. And as they're putting it together, Friedkin's like, this motherfucker dropped a foot overnight. And he talked to some natives again, and they're like, oh yeah, it never drops in the summer when it rains. It was the fall. So by the time they got to the fucking shoot, they're like, there was no fucking water. So he's like, all right, we're not moving this fucking bridge again. So they literally piped water from up the way from a whole nother water reserve. Mm-hmm. And just to get some production value out of that, because it was costing him a fortune, he filmed it in the movie and used it in the movie. Mm-hmm. So there's like this part in the movie where they're putting up this, it's just like in the background, like they're working on all the shit. and he just happened to use it. But yeah, so they ended up piping this water down, so they had water for the bridge scene. And then he added fake rain on top of it all just to make it even more fucking harrowing. Like, because this bridge is a bridge. It's not like fake. But it was built stronger than it looks. Right? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fake.
It was real.
And it tipped a few times. And that's why it took him 30 fucking days to film this bastard.
I'm surprised there is not like a Hearts of Darkness documentary on the making.
There has to be. Other than maybe they didn't have somebody filming all that time, because, I mean, that's kind of what it sounded like. Because from day one, shit went wrong.
Yeah,
like everything's going wrong. I couldn't even get into the loads of shit that went wrong. Like you almost gotta like read the book or get the audiobook just to experience it for yourself. But like they even had like the one scene where, because like they get to this point, not to, and again I don't want to say exactly at the point where it is in the film, but they get to this point where they can't go any farther because there's this big huge motherfucking log in the road. And they don't know what to do because they can't move the log. And they can't go back around anyway. There's no place to get around it. So they get the bright ass idea to blow the log up. And of course, because this was a co-production with Universal and Paramount. And I just forgot his fucking name, but he's one of the main characters in the Godfather story too.
Oh yeah,
Bloodhorn.
Yeah,
the German guy or whatever he is, or not German, Austrian guy that was the head of Gulf and Western at the time. He showed up with some fucking model and somebody else on that day when they're shooting that scene. He's like, this freaking guy, he's a fucking genius. Just watch this. You're going to see this is why he's going to be a fucking genius. And he goes, so, okay, they loaded everything up to do this explosion, and they didn't load it up enough. So, like, literally the explosion goes to happen and just a couple of branches come shooting out. And before he can even go, what the fuck happened? He turns around and he seen Bloodhorn hightailing it for the fucking helicopter. And he's like, son of a bitch. And yeah, from that moment on, everything was a fucking nightmare because they spent $20 million on this movie in 1977. That's over twice what they spent on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just for some perspective here, guys. And the movie tanked at the box office. Now, of course, it's gained notoriety on video and cable over the years. In fact, it's obviously gotten a Criterion release, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have some prestige. So over the years, people have come to appreciate it. But yeah, at the time, it was a disaster for Friedkin, and it was his first movie in 5 years.
Oh man.
That's the other thing. Like, this was his follow-up to the fucking Exorcist. Motherfucker took a 5-year hiatus and he did this, and he's like, oh shit.
Oh, I'm screwed.
I mean, he was a wonder kid. You got to remember, like, his first 2 shots out the door. Sure, he did little things before that, but his first big studio picture being The French Connection in this huge fucking movie, and then bigger yet with fucking Exorcist. Like, he's expecting this movie to do almost as good as The Exorcist. He's like, at least he had the expectations of like, yeah, nothing's going to probably do as good as The Exorcist. Because at that time, The Exorcist was the highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose.
And that's how he took 5 years off, because he's like, The Exorcist was still playing. Like,
I'm good.
I'm realize, like, there is no video, guys.
Yeah.
And Exorcist had been on TV and everything already, but it was so popular that people were still going to see it in the theater, like, on a weekly basis.
They knew it.
He's like, I shot that in the fucking foot with this movie. You go, of course, I got all over the trailers from the guy who made The Exorcist.
Nobody's putting on the guy who made Sorcerer.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't say that, but that's kind of what he's implying. He's like, I done fucked that all up. Because then he did like the Brinks Job and a couple other smaller things in television and stuff before long, because he just couldn't get his shit back together. But we'll get into that as we get down the road, because I'm kind of on a Friedkin kick now. So I'm waiting for the Brinks Job to get here.
Nice. All right.
Do you want me to do one more then, or do you want to do one?
I got 2 left. How many you got left?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I technically got 6 left, but 2 of them I'll definitely do together.
Goodness gracious, I only got 2.
All right, well, I'll do another quick one.
Go ahead.
Well, this is one I was supposed to have a steelbook for, but Walmart's fucked their shit up.
Oh.
And so I had this Blu-ray for a while. I don't know if I've ever talked about this movie on here though. But I got Shin Godzilla on 4K. Here's the old.
I've been meaning to get this one.
The older release, which actually looks better as far as I'm concerned, because it has the embossed.
Yeah, I see the embossed. That looks cool.
Yeah, and this one does not.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to have a steelbook of this anyway, but it does not. But I enjoyed this movie. It's one of those movies I enjoy more every time I see it. In fact, I think I laughed more this time than the last few times. Because yeah, if you go into this movie, you got to understand this movie is more of a satire.
Yeah.
Than it is an actual like serious Godzilla. As much as it's presented as like a serious Godzilla movie, it's more of a comment on how a piss poor job the government did with oh god, I always forget the name of it, but there was a power plant that broke down and leaked.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. And the whole movie is literally like, there's shit happening in the water. We need to get a meeting so we can figure out what the hell it is. And then they go like, well, we don't know what it is. It's not this, it's not that, you know. And this one guy goes, well, it might be a creature, you know. Fukushima, thank you. It might be a creature. And they're like, no, it's not that. It's not that. And so then they find out, oh, guess what? It's a creature. Oh, well, shit. We need to have a meeting because it's going to come on land. It's like, it's like the whole movie is just basically that. It's like, we need to have a meeting to prepare for this thing that they're not prepared for.
Right.
Right. And they try to evacuate, and that's a fucking disaster. Most of the fucking government is destroyed. Like, it gets to a point where, like, you literally got the secretary of, like, fucking agriculture running the country. And he's almost a better prime minister than the first guy was, right? And the other guy who's kind of running things was the guy who's like, well, maybe it's a living creature that, was that at the seabed that finally surfaced. Because the other side of this, as it's going on, is he's evolving, right? Because at first they're like, oh, it won't come on land. It can't survive. It's too big. It's on land. Well, as long as it doesn't evolve, we're fine. Well, it's evolving. Oh, shit. And then they figure out what it actually eats, and it's like...
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then we'll never have enough time to evacuate. And then they're like, well, we need to come up with a plan, and so they're starting to come up with a plan. But then as they're coming up with a plan, America's like, if you guys don't come up with something in 2 weeks, we're going to fucking nuke you. And then the government guy's like, yeah, we just might as well do that. And the other guy's like, well, what are you doing? Like, we're going to have to stand up for ourselves at some point here. We can't keep acting like it's post-war, right? Like, here it is, almost 80 plus years past World War II, and we're still acting like, we can't do anything for ourselves and we have to bow down to NATO and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So again, it's a very satirical look at this problem, and Godzilla has less to do with the movie itself than the whole idea of government doesn't fucking work. Right? Like, and how slow it is, and how the bureaucracy of bullshit goes. Like, as I said, it's a lot of the movies about meetings making meetings because they have to have a meeting. Right? Like, that's literally a lot of the movie. And it's one ongoing joke throughout the entire film. And all these preparations they're constantly doing, that by the time they actually get a solution together, it's too fucking late. Right? Well, actually, all the guys who are actually doing the grunt work are the fucking, scientists and smart people who are trying to come up with a blood coagulant because they figure that's the only way they can stop this fucker, because they've sent everything after him so far, and they realize, oh, he eats nuclear power. So dropping a nuke is probably not going to hurt him that much. And at this point, Godzilla has already fucking evolved to the point where the motherfucker has laser beams. Like, we've gone past fire and nuclear breath into laser beams, kids. And not only does he have laser beams, motherfucker got disco in a gay bar laser beams going on. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen this shit, but it is a sight to be seen. And he just lays waste to every goddamn thing around. Let me see if I can find this thing, because it's old enough and it's short enough you could probably get away with showing a little bit of it.
I've been wanting to get this. I've been meaning to pick this one up.
You've never seen this though, have you?
No, I've never seen this one. We've talked about it before, but nobody's ever brought it on.
Okay, because he actually starts with like, it's funny because he starts with the fire breath.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because everybody used to make fun of 1999 Godzilla for him just having plain old fire breath. You want to bring it up here?
Oh, okay.
So he does the fire breath, and then the motherfucker goes into nuclear, and then he's like, "Oh, that's not enough. I'm going full blown disco, baby." Like literally, fucking just like I'm laying shit to waste. Fuck yeah! Look at that. And it works like a laser beam works too. And he's not done. He's not done. Oh no, he gets more. Here's later on when he's like, I'm fucking going crazy! Disco, disco. Fuck yeah.
I want to see this movie now.
I know. And this is just like, he's just laying waste to fucking everything. And they're just like, we need to evacuate. It's like, yeah, you guys should have been doing that 2 weeks ago.
A long time ago. That was great. I have to see this. This is one I've been meaning to pick up a while for myself as well for that and everything to get that scene. That's great.
Luckily, it's kind of edited, Bryant, but yeah, I know they're a little stringent.
Toho can be a little, yeah. We just talked about that. We just did,
Tonio, yeah.
We just talked about it, Tonio.
But yeah, no, I mean, so as far as look-wise, I did notice a little bit of an improvement. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was shot digitally, most likely in a 4K native. But I didn't notice like a huge jump between the two.
Right.
But no, it was a slightly different presentation, different English audio track. I think it had different subtitles as well, so it's not the same as the old release from Funimation. It's sorry. So yeah, this is an actual Toho release. So
yeah,
but it goes with the anniversary release of the film. I believe it's the 10th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so I think it's also getting. If it didn't it already get a theatrical re-release, or it's getting one? I can't remember.
I think it did. I think it did. I know it was getting one or didn't. I can't remember if it did or if it's getting one, but I think it did.
Chad, just keep in mind this is not a typical Godzilla movie, right? Like it is technically is a remake of the original film in a way, but it's a modern setting, right? And I kind of like what they're doing now, even though now they're going to go with a sequel to Godzilla -1, and I don't have a problem with that. But they've been doing in their franchise what I've said a lot of these franchises should do, and just like throw everything in there in the kitchen sink and go to this era, go to that era, do this thing, try this. I know some people give the Warner Brothers legendary Godzilla Kong franchise some shit, but I'm like, we've never ate this good before as Godzilla fans. Like in the last 10 years, we've gotten a shit ton of Godzilla material. We've almost gotten as much Godzilla material in the last 10 years as we did in the first 30 years.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, just between the legendary films alone and the few chances that Toho has been taking with their franchises, I mean, it's like, bravo, guys. Like, both can coexist. I don't even know why that some people even try this, one versus the other thing. It's like, why? We actually get both.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's the difference? Like, you could have, over here you got colorful slam bam wrestling style Godzilla versus Kong shit. I'm cool with that. Over here you've got more super serious, tonally different. We're going to take some chances and try some different shit. Godzilla over here. Like I said, we even got Godzilla on TV.
Yeah, you do.
We're eating pretty goddamn good right now.
Godzilla fans are doing pretty good. You got to admit that. It's enough for all of you.
Brian asked about the '98 film. It kind of was with that animated show, which is actually well received by fans. And the sad part is that's basically the sequel. They just took all the shit that was set up for the sequel and they just put it in that TV show because they knew the movie was never getting a sequel.
Yeah, so they put it on the cartoon. Yeah. They're making a Chinese one or something.
I heard something along those lines. Is it China making their own and they licensed it, or are they just making one that's like a Chinese themed Godzilla? Because now in the last movie, not the last one, but the first Godzilla versus Kong, they did fight in Tokyo, didn't they? Or was it in China? I'm trying to remember now because I thought they did fight in China. I can't remember if it was Hong Kong or Tokyo. I think it was Hong Kong now that I'm thinking about
Mm.
Because I was like, okay, they're not. Because I remember saying something about them being in Japan, and someone corrected me. They're like, oh, I'm like, oh, I didn't know they were in China.
Well, yeah, Hong Kong is part of China now. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Because like I was like, oh, I thought it was Japan. And they're like, no, it's China. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I wasn't paying that much attention to it. I just like
Excuse me.
monsters fighting. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
fuck,
give a shit
monsters
where
are
they're at.
fighting.
I don't care. as
That's
long
what I
as
wanted to see.
Nice. I gotta get on this. I gotta get on my Godzilla watching. I do gotta catch up on some Godzilla.
You did see -1 finally, didn't
No,
you?
I still have not.
Oh
seen
man, you
-1
got
or
to see
Shin Godzilla.
-1.
I have to catch it. Like I said, I have to catch up on my Godzilla watching. Excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden now. All right. Should I do one? I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know
because
where
I
to go.
only got like 3 or 4 left here.
I don't know where to go from that. Most of my movies are not very good. Tom's bringing the good stuff tonight, and I'm bringing the poor man stuff.
Well, this happens when your channel gets canceled and you have a little bit more time on your hands.
Good excuse. I mean, okay. I watched this. This has nothing to do with Godzilla. I think it's excuse me. Got the hiccups. It's a comedy. I think. Excuse me. I think
Did I
this
scare you?
No. This movie needs a Blu-ray. Personally, I don't even know if you even like this movie, but I liked it. I think it's fun. It's hilarious. It's and I hit the wrong button. Out Cold. I don't know if you've ever even seen this movie from the early 2000s.
I'm trying to remember. I may have.
I
Isn't
think
like
it's very
Tom
funny.
Green or some shit like that in
No,
that?
no, not Tom Green.
Who's in it?
Jason London, Zach Galifianakis.
Okay, I vaguely remember it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like the two biggest names in the movie. But no, I thought this movie is it's great. I think it needs a Blu-ray. You'll probably never get a Blu-ray because it's Disney owned. It's Touchstone Pictures. Excuse me. Yeah, that's Disney, right? Touchstone. Is that Disney?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, Spyglass Touchstone Pictures. This is like one of those classic. It was in the early 2000s, but it's like one of those classic, ski movies like from the 80s, comedies and everything. So it's the plot of the movie. It's basically Casablanca too. So the plot of the movie
Does it have a montage?
Yes, it does. It does have a montage.
Gotta have a montage.
Montage of skiing and snowboarding, because it's about snowboarding and stuff like that. It's about this mountain called Bull Mountain. What's his name is in it too? Because he's really cool. Lee Majors. Lee Majors is in this movie, and the shit he says.
The $1 million man.
Yeah, like he wants to buy this mountain. Okay, so this mountain is
$6
called
million man.
Yeah, $6 million. It's called Bull Mountain. It's like a rednecky, like everybody gets drunk, skis, and it's like poor man's like Aspen and stuff. And so Lee Majors is going to come in and buy this mountain, and he's going to make changes. And he keeps calling the guy that owns the mountain a retard the whole movie. It's like you could not get away with that today. He's like, "Hey, retard, come over here and show me around." "Hey, retard, go get my hat." So he's constantly calling him that. So you couldn't get away with that today. But no, like Jason London plays this guy. He's the coolest guy on the mountain and everything. He's the best skier and everything. And like it's sort of like Casablanca because he had this like thing with this woman in Mexico and she left him and he doesn't know why. And it just so happens she's Lee Major's daughter and she comes to their town because why he's buying it, trying to fix it up. And she tells him she was engaged to another man. And so, they go through all that and everything. But no, it's Zach Galifianakis' first star, role where he's sort of a star of it. Also, Thomas Lennon is in this. I forgot Thomas Lennon is in this as well. He plays that, your classic douchebaggy guy who thinks he's better than everybody and nobody likes him. But the worst part about this movie, as I've come to find out because I haven't seen this movie in years and years and years. But the worst part about the movie, I come to find out, is they cut out all the boobs. And when I was watching it, I noticed that because there's scenes where there's clearly supposed to be boob shots. And what I found out, like there's like a whole scene where this guy's daydreaming about like he's James Bond and he slides down the mountain and he gets in this it's not like a ski lift, but you know what I'm talking about. Where they go up the mountain, everybody's in the mountain in that cart, and their flag goes up the mountain. But like, there's a bunch of women in there, and he tells them all to take off their tops so they can tie them together. And like, clearly, all these women were supposed to be topless, showing their titties off in the movie. cut out. They even have a Playboy model in the movie, Victoria Silverstead, who's supposed to be like a Swedish, sex bomb. Take her top off. And from what I know is like, yes, they filmed her boobs and it was supposed to be a big scene in the movie. They cut it out of the movie because the studio was liking what they were seeing from the movie. So they wanted more people to watch it. So they took it from an R-rated movie to a PG-13 movie. So they cut out all the topless scenes in the movie, which, it would go right up there with Ski School and stuff like movies like that. But no, I know this is no Sorcerer. I know this is no Friedkin stuff or anything like that. But I find this movie is really, really funny. You don't get comedies like this today. It does have a good cast. There's jokes in it that you just cannot get away with at all. Like people calling each other retard. Zach Galifianakis said, "Oh yeah, I got fag practice in the morning." When he's making fun of this.
It makes me wonder if it was something they bought and then cut down, or if it was something they like got cold feet and they're like, "Oh no, you got to cut that down to PG-13."
Yeah, it's something like that. Because like what I would say is like the studio was saying like they really liked the movie and they loved it. They loved what they wanted, and then, but we need to cut out this, and this, so more people will watch it. So who knows? And plus, it's Disney, right? So
that's what I was saying. Is like, yeah, there was that era there before American Pie where it was like you couldn't get one of those kind of comedies for a while. They wouldn't go over PG-13.
Yeah. So like it was clearly edited down for PG-13, but it's a funny movie. I do think it needs a Blu-ray. I doubt we'll ever get one unless like Mill Creek puts it out or something. And even then it probably wouldn't be that great. No, I'd say give it a shot. I know Godzilla out cold. I know. But like if you want this, it's like you really don't get this. It has an incredible soundtrack, great cast. The jokes are solid. One of the best scenes in the whole movie is like Zach Galifianakis' character is constantly getting drunk and passed out. And every time he gets drunk and passed out, the guy that plays his brother and them always pull a prank on him. And one of the, like, I still died laughing to it. Is like, so they put him in the car and they take the car and they spin it in the middle of the road, right? Because it's on ice and they just spin it and they all get in the car and he's passed out behind the wheel. And they all get in the car and they just start screaming. And he wakes up and he's grabbing the wheel. He's good. I got it. It's like, you got to see it the way it's played out. Oh my God. I died laughing at it. It was hilarious. I know. You just got to see it.
I wish I remembered it better. I vaguely remember it. I think I might have seen it once on video or something like that, probably. But
it wasn't a very big movie or anything like that. Yeah, but it was just something I don't know. It was like a solid comedy that you could see something was there, right. And you just don't get a lot of that today. And it was funny hearing Lee Majors call people retard the whole movie, which I know. It's funny. It's like some of the stuff is like they got away with. You just don't get away with it nowadays at all. So, yeah. Oh, but there you guys have it. It was funny. Give it a shot. It's funny. But anyways,
yeah.
Like I said, Tom's here with the good stuff. I'm here with the poor man stuff. I'm just digging into some stuff I had that I'd seen in a while. So
I don't even really have anything to go off of that on. So
I was gonna say I doubt it.
I'll just go with. It's kind of pissed. So I picked this up on the sale from Shout Factory, and it did not come with the slipcover.
Oh no.
But it's not one of John Carpenter's best. Ghosts of Mars. Yeah, it's barely a movie.
That's a nice segue from Out Cold to Ghosts of Mars.
And it feels like it's shot on a set, which it is. And it feels like John Carpenter just did it for a paycheck, which he did.
I was gonna say,
even his soundtrack. This is like one of his laziest fucking soundtracks. I'll be honest. This movie's basically just Aliens meets Day of the Dead. Let's be fucking real. With a train. I don't get it.
It's got Jason Statham in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there.
It's not improved any since I saw it 20 years ago. It's still like, yeah. It feels like somebody making a TV show trying to be John Carpenter.
He didn't give a shit at that point. He was just like, fine,
No.
I'll do it.
Yeah, like I said, it is piss poorly shot on a fucking stage, and you can tell. Even the miniature effects are kind of hokey as fuck. I'm not trying to put it down for anybody who does like it. I just.
Tell us how you really feel, Tom.
John Carpenter could do so much better. Like, I don't get this. Like, there's so much just weird about this movie. Like, it's a very. Considering you can tell he doesn't give a shit, it feels like the actors feel like they're that much more important in the film than they really are.
Right.
Like, you got Ice Cube doing his damnedest to be Snake Plissken. Right?
Right.
And Natasha Henstridge is just every single tough chick out of the 80s/90s. Right? And Jason Statham is the safe but sexy, plausible love interest. Right? Like, it is so... Yeah. Kind of basically deleted. Like, Steven's not wrong. It kind of has that kind of a, like, yeah, I see that. I think that comparison might have been made at the time too. But after Vampires, this was so disappointing because I know Vampires was not received as well as he had hoped. And it is a much better. At least that's a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Like, it's a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, it's John Carpenter.
This movie just does not feel like a John. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Like, it feels like somebody else trying to be John Carpenter.
I think that maybe the downfall of Vampires was it for him, and he was done. You know, he was so jaded by that point of Ghost of Mars. I
think Vampires was setting up a franchise, wasn't it? Because isn't that based on a series of books, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know. I know they made a straight-to-video sequel with Bon Jovi in it.
Yeah, but I don't think that has very little to nothing to do with the original.
But
like, I think, unless somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, because I know that movie's based on a book. I think maybe there's a whole series of books or something like that, because he was hoping that it would be kind of like this series they were going to do, but I could be wrong. I'd have to watch all the making of stuff again. But
yeah, but no, it does feel like they were setting up a franchise for the Vampires movies. So, yeah. But I did once again. This is John Carpenter. I do think he just was so jaded, so done at that point. I don't think he ever really recovered, and he's happy to smoke his weed and play his video games nowadays.
Pretty much.
So that's what he does. And go on tour. He likes to do his music with his son and all them. So
Captain Crypto, Vampires kicks ass, Ghost of Mars licks ass. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Vampires is great. I like Vampires. It's a good movie. It's a good one. I don't know, Tom. That's it's better. That at least you brought on something worse than I brought on. So I give you that much.
Well, I could go worse. I mean, I have one of the best worst movies ever coming up here, but I could do these here real quick, and then I got two more left afterwards.
Yeah, I got one. So go ahead and do what you want to do.
I had not seen these in a while, but I procured the Blu-ray for Witchboard and Witchboard 2.
Nice.
Now, Witchboard is one of those movies that's much better than it has the right to be. And it just keeps you watching, even though it's a very hokey, bad movie.
Yeah.
Bad, but in a relative sense, right? Like, it's cheesy, good, bad, but
yeah. You just it's a bad movie, but you're having fun with it.
Exactly. Tawny Katan's in it. It's this whole kind of like very much borrows stuff from all sorts of like The Exorcist and other kind of possession type movies, but it just happens to work really well for what it is. And then they did a sequel,
Yeah. I think there's like tons of Witchboard sequels. Isn't
I think
there?
there's a few, you're
Like
right. But
10
after
of
this point,
them?
like this one I remember specifically because it premiered on Cinemax.
Yeah, and
It's got Amy Dolezal in it.
yeah, Amy Dolan's.
Dolan's, yeah. And this is a much worse film than the first one. Yeah.
But is there boobs?
Not as much in this one. The first one, yes.
Yeah, the first one had a lot.
Because in this one, I think Amy would show a lot of skin, but I don't think she ever would show boobs.
Yeah, I don't think she ever did. Is it
It
better
even
than Ghost
has
of Mars?
Lorraine Newman from fucking Saturday Night Live in it. What? Sorry.
Is it better than Ghost of Mars?
Yes, I guess. And just the cheesiness factor. Because I mean, it does have a few different twists than the original film, and it is at least a sequel in a way to the even though it's completely new characters, it does stick to the rules of the first film, if that makes sense. Even though it appears to be made by a completely different company, I don't know if there is any real connection between the two films other than clearly the plot. Because other than the plot, there's no like connective tissue really to the two. And I'm looking at the credits right now to see if there's anything that's the same. I think just the producers, that's all. That's what it looks like.
That's it. We just needed to make some money.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, part 2, and this is not the best Blu-ray in the world. It's an olive release.
Oh, olive.
Yeah, the sound is kind of tinny.
Mm.
But it does have some special features. So does the first one, but this is a really old release from Shout Factory. So needless to say, I think, didn't we say the first Witchboard is supposed to be getting a 4K release at some point here? I could have swore.
I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm wrong.
I think, is that Witchboard or is that Witch something?
Could be. I could be mixing it with something else.
Was it MVD? I think MVD might have re-put out Witchboard on one of their Rewind collections.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
It's not
maybe.
4K.
No, it's not 4K.
It's probably
I think
just
they
the
might have
same,
put that out. Yeah,
same
it's just
scan.
same thing. Yeah. There's another though. Like there's another thing that's similar to Witchboard, but it's not. It's called Witch something, but I can't remember. Sometimes they get mixed up. Sometimes they get mixed up.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. And then they also did the Ouija movies too,
Yeah,
which
the
are
Ouija,
kind of.
yeah.
And then there was the remake, which I think Chuck Russell directed.
Yeah,
but I
Chuck
don't know.
Russell did the Witchboard remake that just came
But
out.
from what I read of it, it's more or less just kind of a remake in name and concept only. I don't think it's much of a remake.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen it though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I haven't heard much about it, so I don't think.
I guess that came out this year. Corleone Rogue said.
Yeah, that's what I said. It came out sometime this year.
I thought it came
Halloween.
out before that, but yeah.
So
Maybe I'll have to check that out and see.
yeah,
Because I don't hate the first one. The first one's not too bad.
first one's not. I like the first one. First with Tawny Katana on them, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
definitely
seen
a
the sequels in
solid.
a long time.
Yeah. Huh?
I haven't seen the sequel or any of the other sequels in a long time.
I don't think I've seen past the second one.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I've played like 10 of
Because
them.
I remember the second one being not that good when it came out originally, and it was not that good the second time out. And I mean, I'll give it credit for having a few more twists and turns and playing with the concept a little bit more and not being just a straight up ripoff of the original film, but it's just not a very good movie overall. It's not very well done, and it has a very straight to video feel to it, even though I think it did get a small theatrical release, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. You gotta hand it to this. Like, there was something weird the way the movies like that premiered on Cinemax or Showtime feel. They have this sort of feel to them. The way
straight to streaming kind of feel now, but like
they're
or straight to video then, but
straight to video there, but it's a little more special than straight to streaming. I don't know. They just always kind of seem like there was. I don't know. They're weird, but
in some ways I get but there was a very cheapness about them because they were almost cheaper than straight to video in some senses.
Exactly.
Because they're basically TV movies at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They'll just throw in a few boobs or a few cuss words here and there just to make you sure it's like, yeah, see, it's a movie.
All right. Well,
All
there's
right.
not much more I can say on that. I mean, unless somebody wants me to go through the plot.
They summon a demon to a rich board.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, oh, how can we rip off The Exorcist but make it more like a slasher movie?
Yes.
That's got to be what they sat down and said.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's pretty much what it is. And I mean, it's not a bad movie overall. I mean, it has some interesting little concepts. Yeah, the whole idea is this girl is introduced to a witch board or a Ouija board, and she starts using it on her own like she's not supposed to. And she thinks she's talking to this little boy spirit when it turns out to be this ancient, or not ancient, but this old Wiccan warlock. I couldn't think of the name for the male witch, who's trying to use her basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's pretty fun. The second one, on the other hand, is more about. The thing is, I don't really care for the ending in it because it has this red herring element throughout the film that is really poorly done.
See it a mile away.
Ish. It's just kind of like, yeah, you know it's too obvious, so where's the twist come in? And you kind of figure it all out in a way-ish.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't jive all that well. It kind of has like a very forced feel to it. But you know, you got straight to video / cable darling Amy Dolan's in it, and you know, shit like that. So it's not horrible, and it's not like it's not a bad movie per se overall. It's just not good.
Yeah.
You know, not like a worthy sequel or anything necessarily, but not an unworthy sequel at the same time. It's in that gray area.
Right.
Like the first two are fine, but after that, I don't think I'd care to see anymore.
Yeah. You know, well, that back in the day, that's what I was talking about that not too long ago. Like back in the day, they would make a movie like that, like Witchcraft or something, moderate success or success, whatever. Then by like not even 2 years in, you'd have 5 of them. And you're like, hey, did you see part 4?
Yeah, Witchboard started to suffer from the straight-to-video syndrome quite fast.
They'd make a bunch of them real quick because they sold extremely well to
there's like Witchboard the Obsession, and Witchboard the Possession, and Witchboard the whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I think part 2 is called The Possession, but yeah.
It might be, yeah. Like, it's not bad movie per se.
But compared to a lot of shit nowadays, I mean,
it's better than new stuff.
It kept my attention for 90 minutes, I guess. Like, that says a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one I was kind of reminded how good it was because I forgot how good the first movie was. Because I really went in expecting to be like, okay, this movie's not going to live up to my memory. Because my memory was that Witchboard was a really solid film, actually, considering.
Right.
And it holds up pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that.
There is an Amityville Witchboard, isn't there?
Sorry. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm glad because I've thought about watching Witchboard myself here recently. I almost watched it back there in October, so I've been meaning to get to it again myself because I remember it being a good movie. You know.
Oh, I'm sure one of them does, Corley and Rogue. I don't know if that's the third one though, because by the time you get to cheap enough CGI, you'd probably be at the 5th or 6th one.
Yeah. It gets bad. It gets bad.
Yeah. And I think the reason they couldn't call this Ouija is because even though they used the term in the movie, I think at that time, was it Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers or one of those guys had copyrighted it or whatever?
Was it Parker? It might have been Parker Brothers.
One of those guys did. I can't remember which, but yeah.
They copyrighted the name and everything. Yep. Yeah, so you couldn't use that.
Now it's a board game, kids.
Yeah, now you can
come summon some demons
all on your own.
Get to know Pazuzu.
No thanks. My mom will never ever allow one of those in her house. She has screamed and screamed. Anybody mentions it, nope, she'll start screaming. That son of a bitch thing ain't ever coming in my house.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
So that was never a problem in my house. We never had to worry about getting.
Don't turn it upside down.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, so I guess should I go on to
Go
my
ahead. Yeah, I've got nothing much more to say on Witchboard. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of mothers, I watched Psycho,
Ooh.
the original on 4K. And beautiful. It's actually a really good 4K. So, so
It
yeah,
is. It is.
yeah.
And it's got that slightly extended cut that they
Yep.
discovered. So
Just an extra minute in the shower, which
not even really.
yeah, not even really. You can almost see a boob. So
And yeah, and it's not Janet Leigh either. It'd be the stand-in if I
yeah,
remember
whoever
correctly.
they
And
yeah.
then the other extra bit is when the cop gets stabbed, because instead of just getting stabbed once, he gets stabbed I think 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
before he falls.
Yep. Well, he slashes him, and then when he comes down off the steps, he comes down and he stabs him a few times.
Those
So,
stabs are not in the original one.
yeah, they're not in the original. No.
Just
Yeah.
the first slash. That's it.
Yeah. Because he slashes him, falls down the stairs, and he dies. But then in
Yep.
but no, it's it's a Christmas adjacent as well because it takes place on December 11th and 12th and 13th and 14th.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, and they got Christmas decorations in Arizona when she's leaving and everything. No, it's an all-time classic. I've always enjoyed the Psycho movies. I love the first two. I think the first one is an all-time great. Anthony Perkins is Norman Bates, Janet Leigh. It's one of the we often talk about it, but like it's such a great way he does it. The way he switches from the characters, like you follow Janet Leigh's character into the hotel, she gets killed, and you sort of switch over to Norman for a bit, and then you switch over to her sister and her boyfriend, and then it's
Well,
just
you slowly realize the main character is Norman Bates.
exactly. It's like you slowly come to realize that Norman Bates is the main character,
Which is a trick to the audience, exactly, because
yes,
you're not meant to sympathize with him, but you finally do. And that's why Psycho 2 works so well.
Yep.
Not to jump to Psycho 2, but and that's why
no.
Tarantino will talk about it all the time too, and it is an underappreciated film. But no, the first Psycho is it's a fucking masterpiece.
It is so
I mean, you have Hitchcock at his peak, and not only is he at his peak, he's at that point. He's like, "All right, motherfuckers, I have done everything you can do in the studio." Like if he's a musician, right? Like I've rocked it inside and out. I am gonna go home, and I'm gonna make an album with nothing more than pans and noise and just some random shit from around the house, and you're gonna think it's fucking Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
yeah.
Because that's literally what he did here. He's like, I'm gonna take and strip all the things away that you normally would, with movies right now at that time. Because you got to remember how color was a big thing, and him doing this in black and white with his TV crew, very cheap, and the deal he made for this movie was unheard of.
Yep.
And the amount of and Psycho is arguably one of the first blockbusters. Like it was one of the first movies since like Gone with the Wind to really, like line people up out the door, like around the block, literally. And a big reason for that was orchestrated, because he told the theaters flat out, you shut those fucking doors when the show starts and you don't let anybody else in.
Yeah, because the big reveal and everything. Yep.
And that was his whole thing, because for back then, people don't really realize that a lot of time people would show up 10, 15 minutes late to a movie, easy. And then that was another reason, because they knew all the credits were at the beginning of the movie a lot of time, and nothing really important generally happened at the beginning of the movie. It was more of a casual thing. But with Hitchcock, he's like, no, you got to show up at the beginning. And he went out and he had Teamsters and everybody buy up all the books so nobody could fucking read the book.
That he did. So nobody could spoil the ending or anything like that.
Yep. So the ending in the big shower scene would not get spoiled. And it is kind of, the book and the movie do run very similarly. And it's been a good 20 years since I've read the book, so forgive me because a few things might get muddied, but it's just kind of the main differences in the book are Norman is not as presented in any kind of way that he would be considered Because the thing is, the way the movie's set up compared to the book is Norman is basically like an Ed Gein type.
He's like a short, balding, middle-aged man.
Yeah, and it's a little less about the whole obsession with mother. I mean, it's there, don't get me wrong, but like this whole idea of Norman being a victim of circumstance more so, I think, from my memory, is more in the movie than it is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, yeah, like the weirdness compared to like the obsession in the movie. Like, because like I said, by the time you get to the end of the movie, you almost feel sorry for Norman, especially when you realize that like he's gone, right? Like that mother is the one doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has created this other, persona. And the fucked up part is back then, like to have that cop explain it the way he does at the end of the movie, that was probably most people's understanding of that back then. Look, think about how much farther we've come with understanding, these kind of situations and split personalities and, true split personalities, not just, the fucked up fake shit most people try to pretend they are, but like the few actual accounts. Like Norman is an example of somebody who literally has had that psychotic break.
Yeah.
And I loved how the fourth film, and probably the series, which I haven't seen, really, and it's one of those few times I don't mind a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
And explaining the character doesn't hurt because Norman isn't necessarily a villain.
No, he's not. He's not.
Norman's not the villain. Mother is.
Yes, mother is villain. I would say the series is good until the final season.
That's what I've heard, is when they kind of remake Psycho. Yeah.
They don't.
Six is in the house.
Yes, I was good. She sends the rainbow. The rainbow's for you. The rainbow's for you. So thank you for the rainbow super sticker, and also the $1.49 peach. So I'll take the peach.
You get the ass. Oh, okay.
I could eat a peach for hours. Sorry, that was
hours and hours.
It's like one of the things I did not like with that. And thank you, Sixo. So thank you for both the super stickers. I appreciate it. See, I even looked and saw what it was, because I know last time he was a little upset because I didn't have it ready, so I had it ready. So I looked at it. So thank you very much for that, and I appreciate it. Thank you. But one of the things I did not like about the final season and everything is like you said, Mother is the villain. Mother is who did this to Norman. Norman is just this like he is just a bit of a effeminate man. But I know with Anthony Perkins, he struggled with his sexuality and everything. And I don't think it was so much about sexuality on whether he liked women or boys with Norman Bates. I think he clearly liked women. And anytime he did take a liking to women, that's explained, is like his mother would chastise him. And it's kind of like the water boy, like they're the devil. The women are the devil.
Which is exactly why Hitchcock hired Anthony.
Exactly.
Because he knew he was gay. And he wasn't doing it because he was gay. He did it because he knew that taboo-ness about women would come through because he was gay. Now, if it was a straight guy trying to do that, who wasn't a creepazoid weirdo like that, like, because, like, look at Norman Bates. Like, he's a good-looking guy, right? He's not a bad-looking guy, like, unlike the version in the book. By all means, he should be able to get a woman, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem was Mother. It always was Mother. And just, so what happens is the moment he gets close to this girl, his mother shows up.
Yep, and stops him.
And this might be the first time Mother's shown up in years, as far as we know, because this is the first time we're seeing Norman in the movie. We have no idea up to this point the last time he had a psychotic break.
He was walking around in her clothes, and when she pulls in up in the...
Was he?
Yeah, when she pulls in and she looks up and it's raining and she's honking her horn, he's walking around. Like, you see the mother walk by. It looks like...
he sees her in the window, but I couldn't remember if he was moving around. I thought she just saw her.
See, he walks by.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So it's like, well, the guy explains it, and he goes, at times he would dress up in her clothes and walk around.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as having the actual break in his psyche, as far as like that whole
takes
thing
over
of
when the woman shows up like that.
Yeah, and like you did it again.
Yeah,
right.
He's like, are you missing two women? And the guy's like, yeah, we have two. He goes, you'll probably find them in the swamp because he killed them too. So yeah. So like anytime so that's the thing is like, yes, I don't think Norman Bates himself was homosexual.
No. Not the least.
He clearly loved women, and that's what I did. One of the things I did not like about the final seasons of Bates Motel is because when you get to the point, I don't want to spoil it or anything for you, but
They made him gay.
Yeah, they kind of like they get to the point where it's like, okay, he's killed his mother. Now he's in order to bring his mother back, he's dressing up as his mother. He's having this break. Like he would when he would be back to Norma, and he would find out that when he was going around as Norma Bates, he was getting fucked in the ass by dudes at gay clubs.
See, that's not exactly the same. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's like I'm like,
but yeah, I don't think he would do that because Mother would never do that.
Exactly.
See, that's why I have an issue with that so much more. Is like, okay, so like in his psyche when he's doing that, he's a woman, right? So that does not count as being gay.
Exactly.
But the fact that Mother would never fucking do that.
Exactly. That was my thing, is like his mother wasn't really a whore.
She was a fucking prude.
She was a prude, and the one man she did fall in love with, Norman felt he was being replaced, so he killed him.
Exactly. Because that was later in life, right? Like that was the whole thing is, they had that codependency issue because they had lived together almost in isolation for X amount of years, and then she gets this boyfriend out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that point, Norman's already been fucking twisted by this woman who's basically, literally like, and I love how Psycho 4 handles it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I still haven't necessarily seen the remake or whatever you want to call it yet, because I think that does a very good job of capturing it all. And again, it doesn't go against anything we've seen before, because by the time you get to Psycho 2 and 3, Norman is a very, like, you want him to get better. Like, I think Roger Ebert said it in his review of it. He's like, it is a decent film and people are going to overlook it because it's Psycho 2, but at the same time, it's a very different film and it's a very interesting, introspective look at Norman, right? Mm-hmm. Like, because he is technically innocent, right? He's taken responsibility for the things that he's done, but he is technically innocent. And I know it's really weird to think of it that way, but that's the beauty of films, is you're actually allowed to once be invited into the mind of a fucking psycho.
Exactly.
And by the term psycho, I don't just mean like, an off the wall crazy masochist type. I mean a literal psychotic person who has a break, who's had a literal break in their brain where there's two separate entities in there. And one is going to kill and the other one is pretty much innocent. And like he says in part 4, the only time he ever killed when he was Norman was when he killed his mother.
Mm-hmm. That was
and his stepdad or whatever.
Yeah. And 6 moves. The Bates Motel, the new series Bates Motel, which is actually,
what's this fan fiction you're talking about?
It's actually a really good show up until the last season. The last season, it goes off the rails, and it just.
I thought you'd seen that, 6, or maybe not.
As Lila Crane, I understand. I know some people with that because like she becomes like what they do to Norman.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either, because like you also got to look at it this way: is like her sister was taken from her, and so she kind of like, that's like the beauty of Psycho 2.
But she has kind of one of those controlling natures in the original film as well.
Exactly. She sort of has a break herself. And with knowing that Norman Bates is out, and she's like, well, I know this guy's a psycho, so I'm going to prove he's a psycho.
By becoming the psycho.
And so she became a psycho herself. So I think that was like the beauty part.
See, and that's where Tarantino will point that out, is like, Norman Bates ain't the psycho in part 2. No.
Yeah. No, he's not.
It's Lila Crane, right? It's Marion's sister. She's the psycho.
He's a psycho. And also you come to like the actual killer of the movie isn't revealed till afterwards.
As far as like, that's the one thing I don't know if I ever really liked. I wonder how they deal with that in the series. This whole idea that Norman's real mom is not.
Yeah. In the TV series, Norma Bates is his mom.
Yeah, I never really liked that twist.
Yeah, I think that's the one problem with Psycho 2. I really do think that is the one problem with Psycho 2.
And it's only there just so he can have a mother.
Yeah, just so he can have a mother.
It's the only reason. You can't think of any other fucking reason why. There's no good reason. And in fact, I think they ignore it in part 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like, well, the guy that wrote part 4 was the guy that helped Hitchcock write the first one. So he's basically ignoring 2 and 3. he said so himself. He ignored 2 and 3, but it does actually kind of flow with 2 and 3.
It does enough, but like, yeah, I mean, if you're kind of, and he wouldn't have known all those years anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still,
Yeah.
But she's never introduced in any other way, shape, or form, or
Yeah.
who's to say that she's just not a complete psycho and lying to him?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, yes, she says he's his mom and everything, but it's never been proven to be true because she was crazy herself. And
I was gonna say she might think she's Abraham Lincoln's mother too.
Yeah, she was a psycho herself, so we don't know, if she really was his mother. But Lila Crane and her daughter and everything that's happened and her drove Norman psycho again. So he needed a mother. So at that time, he killed her and took a mother. So that's what So you could look at it as that point. But no, yeah, I love the first Psycho movie. I think it is an all-time movie classic. Like you were mentioning earlier, not only was like the way Hitchcock did this, but like Hitchcock doing a horror movie because it was called a horror movie was like you can't do that. You can't make a horror movie. You're Alfred Hitchcock. Horror movie doesn't sell and all that, which Hollywood to this day is still adverse to horror, even though it's always been proven to be successful, whether it's good or bad. But the original Psycho is a classic. It is a bit Christmas adjacent because it does take place around Christmas time. Great movie. I think a lot of slasher movies owe this movie. I've been meaning to watch Peeping Tom, so I've been curious about that one because I know that's like everyone's like, well, Peeping Tom's the first. Peeping Tom's the first. Like, yeah, I know, but
we acknowledge that, but it's like, it's not always the first one to the table is the one who gets remembered, right? So
yeah, exactly. So, but no, yeah, Psycho is a great movie. I enjoy the sequels. Like I said, I did enjoy the TV series up until the final season, and then it goes off the rails, and they don't really quite remake Psycho. They changed way too much shit in that final season for me. So, yeah. So if you ever watch it, just watch up to season 4 and then stop.
There you go.
But yeah, check out Psycho if you've never seen it. And Captain Krypton, I saw you mentioned earlier the scan, the Arrow scan is the same as the Universal scan.
It's actually I think the same disc even.
Yes, the same disc as the Universal one. All Arrow did was 2, 3, and 4. They did the 2, 3, and 4 because they were allowed to do that. And the set I have, and I think you have that too, Tom.
Outside or inside the U.S., they don't even have Psycho 1 in the set. I don't think.
The set they released in the U.S. is just 2, 3, and 4. The set from the UK, which I have, you have, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. But the first one is just a Universal disc. It's flat out the Universal disc. So, but the other ones look great. Arrow did the scans and all them, and so you can check them out. But to you, Tom, it's
speaking of Arrow,
there you go.
Here's one that they did a while back, and they did a 4K restoration for as well. Even though the old Blu-ray comes from the same scan, I finally got around to watching Creepshow 2.
Nice.
So yeah, I checked it out. I think I talked about it not too long ago when I watched them. But yeah, really the only sequence in this one that's any good is the first one, the old chief sequence. Like otherwise, the rest of them kind of suck. I'll be honest with you. The sludge in the water one is so bad. It's like this isn't even good enough for a TV show, let alone a movie. And the Hitchhiker one has been done to death. Like it is so on the nose typical. And the whole like Crypt Keeper guy or whatever you want to call him in this is not nearly as cool as the skull in the first one, even though it's played by Savini.
It's Tom Savini. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not a bad movie. It looks good. Is it worth the upgrade if you have the old Arrow disc? No. Unless you're a big, huge fucking fan of the film. It's one of those movies where it's like, if you're really just buying it for the one sequence in the animation, yes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't that huge of a leap in quality since it's from the same scan as far as I can tell. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
I think I got it on the Arrow sale when it was on sale a little while back. So yeah.
You don't like the raft story? Just one, man.
And it has an awkward rape scene in it too. It's like it's not even like it is one of the most underwritten. Like I said, it's not even like, even if I was doing like a TV, like, because let's be real, guys. For those who don't know, Tales from the Dark Side is basically the TV show of Creepshow. For those who don't know, and Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is basically Creepshow 3. Even though they've done a Creepshow 3 and a Creepshow TV show now.
Yeah.
George Romero would have been the first to tell you that. And that's just because they lost the title. That's all.
Yeah.
But that being said, because Tales from the Dark Side started out as Creepshow, the TV show, but they found out that Lorimar, or whatever it was, I think it was, whoever it was, owned the rights to the title, and they couldn't get a deal made. So they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just come up with another title altogether. And then, then they made Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, which it's all the same fucking people.
Yeah.
So it's like just like the same band, different name. You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of pays homage to that whole idea that, you know, there was Tales from the Crypt and there was Tales from the Vault of Horror, and, you know, suspense tales and crime stories and shit like that. So there was how many different titles to these that the only one that everybody ever remembers is Tales from the Crypt. But if you do any research, 90% of those stories were not in Tales from the Crypt magazine. And the Crypt Keeper is nothing like what he is in the TV show.
No,
he's more like the guy that's in this, actually.
Yeah, and
to be honest with you,
the original Tales from the Crypt movie. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the original Crypt Keeper character in the comic book, though, is more like this creepy guy that Tom Savini plays in this, actually. Yeah. If you've actually seen any of the actual old Tales from the Crypt magazines. Yeah. But again, like, a lot of those stories come from other places, not from Tales from the Crypt. I think a total of like maybe a handful, like 5 or 6 of the actual Tales from the Crypt episodes came from Tales from the Crypt magazine.
And well, some of them were also from the EC Comics in general.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't matter because they were all EC Comics, all the same artists, all the same writers. Mm-hmm. So in a way, Tales from the Dark Side being that kind of thing, even though it is basically de facto Creepshow 3, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody fucking says, and at least it's a better sequel because it has a couple good stories in it compared to this one. Because this one is just, it feels very thrown together and almost like a TV pilot.
Really?
It does. It feels like a TV pilot. It feels like, oh, we're going to make a TV show. Oh, well, no, we'll put it together and throw it out as a movie instead. Because none of the stories in here feel like remotely like they're cool enough or big enough to be in a movie outside the old Chief story. And that's just because you actually have a few stars and the Chief makeup / costume they obviously actually put some work into. And the story's decent enough, and it has the typical kind of Tales from the Crypt kind of feel to it. But the raft story is so fucking stupid. And again, the hitchhiker. How many times have we done that same fucking story? That's literally like I Know What You Did Last Summer level shit. Because it comes from like the original novel and shit. Not even the movie's barely based on that, but yeah. Like, that's the same kind of concept. You kill somebody in your car and they haunt you until you get killed yourself or whatever. It's like so mundane and done into death. So that's all I can say about this one. It's not as good as the first one, but it's if you can find it on sale, go for it if you're a fan.
Okay. I've seen them. So
yeah, 6, it has an awkward grape scene.
Yeah.
Yes. In the raft one. And not only make it worse, she literally gets killed right as he's doing it. And it's awkward as fuck on top of it all. It's like, of all times to pick to do this? Like, what the fuck? And the scene comes in at just a strange, it feels off.
Feels off. Okay, I get you. Well,
yeah, this one definitely misses George Romero's touch on it, because I don't think he really directed anything on this one, did he?
Was he?
No, he did not. Michael Garrick did. Stephen King wrote the stories, though. But George Romero did the screenplay. That was it. So he is somewhat to blame.
Somewhat. All right,
I thought he just produced it, but yeah.
What is that? It? You got any more?
I have one more, but did you have any more?
No, that was it. Psycho was my last.
So you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, well, speaking of garbage.
What do you got?
Well, I think you know where this is going.
I know you. I almost said garbage day, but I know what you're going for.
Not quite close. But I own not one, not two, but now 3 copies of Garbage Pail Kids, even though I did have the DVD at some point, and I don't know what the hell I did with it. But for some reason, Vinegar Syndrome seen it in their wisdom to put it in 4K. Doesn't look bad. But it is still one of the best, worst movies ever made. Like, this movie should not exist. And what's weirder yet is that it was written by a woman.
I did not know that one.
I did not until now either. Even though I have that documentary on this one disc, because, I didn't even bother to look and see. I don't think that documentary is on here. Because I did watch the 2 new things they did add, which were just 2 new little interviews. Because I remember, I think I was a little disappointed. Oh, yeah, I didn't even show this slip cover. Come on, Vinegar Syndrome. You're not even fucking trying here.
That's weak.
This is weak sauce as fuck.
I mean, like, the Garbage Pail Kids is known for their art.
Right?
And that's what
at least you got the original art here, but yeah. And as far as special features, I don't think it has the big long documentary on it. So no, I don't see it on here. There is 2 new interviews on here, and that's it. So I think CHH did a video on this recently, where he kind of said that Vinegar Syndrome is kind of falling into the same kind of places that like Shout Factory and shit did.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't disagree with him. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad release.
Right.
But normally, I think Shout Factory would have, Vinegar Syndrome would have went a little bit more, out of their way to get like the documentary that's on here. Right? Because that's the whole reason I got this. For those who don't remember when I brought this on before, this has a documentary about 30 years of Garbage Pail Kids, which is more than just about the movie. It's about the whole franchise as a whole. But still, considering it's on a foreign release, you would think Vinegar Syndrome would, and the stuff that they used to do back in the way.
Yeah.
And this, honestly, I still like this cover better. They didn't, for some reason, they changed the title. They have it on the outside here with the ribbon, but see.
Yeah.
But then on the disc, for some reason, it's this weird redo font. And not on the thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Weird.
Yeah, and the same thing with the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Which is weird. You're like, oh, maybe they couldn't get the rights to it or something like that. But like, no, it's right there on the main cover. So why isn't it on the other stuff? So, I don't know. It's
interesting note that Vinegar Syndrome is doing this now after, because typically they do usually go all out for movies like that. Like,
and I mean,
I love that most other companies wouldn't.
Garbage Pail Kids is kind of in their wheelhouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unlike some of the other movies that people have complained about recently, I would say, like, no, Garbage Pail Kids kind of fits in Vinegar Syndrome's wheelhouse.
It does.
And it is one of the best, worst movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's a horrible fucking movie. But it's a movie that I don't think was aware of what it was half the time, and you can tell the people that made it did not give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's obviously a much more ambitious movie somewhere underneath it all.
Right.
But it was literally just one of those things that was thrown together by people who didn't care. By people who were clearly just cashing in on this craze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just tried to cut every fucking corner they could.
And thus we got the Garbage Pail Kids movies.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of plot lines that got dropped, I guess. And I mean, I guess this, because like the chick that plays Tangerine, in her interview, she's talking about how, in the original script, there was so much more than what ended up in the final film because they just kept taking chunks and bits out of it here and there and getting cheaper and shit like that. And this story and that story would just get tossed to the side. And yeah, it's just... You could tell there's a much different movie here at some point, but corporate greed just kind of got in the way, and this movie was literally made for next to nothing. And it's just like, get it out there so we can cash in on this craze, and that's about it.
Just try to make money off of it any way we
Yeah.
can. And, one of the first attempts at a movie to capitalize off of fandom where they don't give a shit. You know, oh, somebody's the fans of this. Let's just make something of it and sit it out there. They'll watch it. It don't matter if it goes along with it or not.
It's weird because it's so scary how many things could have turned out this way from the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ninja Turtles was so close
Mm-hmm.
to turning out very similar. Like there's a video that I'm surprised like Hats Off Entertainment or Turtle Den hasn't done yet. Because I don't know if, and I know this is kind of sidetracked, but it's just funny because Turtles almost turned into something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some similarities here because these costumes that the Garbage Pail Kids wear, as much fun as we make at the movie and poke at the movie, these costumes are actually pretty advanced for the time, and they kind of were the next step to getting to Ninja Turtles because these costumes are very similar to the way the Ninja Turtles work. Because these kids needed to be able to run around and still had animatronics in their heads and all this stuff. And I say kids in quotations because I mean the characters, because there's actually little people inside, let's be real. And you do actually have some voice talent here that you might even have heard before, like Jim Cummings and stuff like that. So it's not like there isn't a few people. And Sean Astin's brother's the main star, and at the time he had been in a couple things, so it wasn't like he wasn't a star, but this movie kind of killed his career. Totally. Yeah, I mean, and when I say he's a better actor than his brother, no, but he was the better looking one. I don't know what he looks like now necessarily. I'm trying to remember from that documentary, but like, I mean, Mackenzie, that's his name. I was trying to think of his name. But no, I mean, is it one of those movies? It's like, look, you either know it or you don't know it. And if you know it, you either love it or hate it already, and you know if you're going to buy it again.
Right.
Right? Like, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to change your mind on this movie. This movie literally has its place in the best, worst movies ever made, and it rightfully does. Now, some people would rank it higher than others. I think it's definitely in the top 5. Right? It's right up there with Troll 2 and The Room and those kind of films, to where it is such a batshit crazy movie. And the only reason it deserves to be there is because I don't think because they didn't realize what they were making, like the creators, I don't think they got the satire of the script. Right? Like, I mean, they think they made it too earnestly when it's like, no, you guys don't realize this is supposed to be a cartoon.
Right.
Right? Like, you literally have something called Home for the Ugly in this movie. Right? Where they take ugly people and put them in there. And this is a pretty dark movie at times.
It does get pretty dark in this movie.
It does. And that's why I'm saying, like, I would love to get my hands on the original script. Because I'm really curious what the original script was and how ambitious it was and the kind of story they were trying to tell. Because it has a lot of 80s hallmarks in that kids movie / whatever. But I mean, when you get to the darker parts, because you guys got to realize, they come to realize they killed a bunch of these Garbage Pail Kids already. Like this place for the ugly. It isn't just that they house them there in this funny, goofy Pee Wee Herman style joke, right? Like too fat, too ugly, too hairy, too this, too that.
Yeah.
Like you come to find out they literally execute them.
Yeah.
And they kind of do it in a way that's really nonchalant. Like, because you spend a good part of this movie
get rid of them.
where the kids' deal is they'll behave as long as Dodger and what's his face fucking help them find their friends. Their friends being other Garbage Pail Kids.
But
and then they come find out, they're like, well, did you find your friends? Yeah, but they're dead. We didn't get there in time. That's literally how the scene goes. They're like, oh shit, that sucks.
Oh well, what do we do now?
What do we do now? Yeah. Fucking hell. Like, whoa, holy shit. Time out. Did you just you went from fucking 0 to 60 here.
And then right back into the kid movie. Da, 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 da.
Right? This would be like in the middle of Airplane if like half the plane blew up and half the people died in a very horrific way. And then they're just like, oh shit, we lost half the fucking passengers. Oh well.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Back
We
in
better make some dresses.
yeah.
We can do anything when working with each other. La la
All
la
my
la.
friends
la.
are dead.
All our friends are dead, but we're gonna sing and make some costumes. Look at this little child labor fucking union. Like, what the fuck? Like, who greenlit this shit?
Simply, they didn't give a shit. It was all
You have child abuse. You have adults basically sleeping with kids, right? Because the girl is 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And her boyfriend is clearly in his 20s, as the actor was. And she was actually 15 at the time of the making of the film.
Yeah.
Like, this movie goes into really weird fucking places. And you're just like, oh my God, how did this movie get fucking made? Right? Like, and that's where the thing, like the Tangerine actress was talking about, like there was this whole subplot in the movie where you could tell like that. I'm like, I want to see this script because does it take itself too seriously? What is going on here? Is it the script? Is it the movie? Was it the people? Because she's like talking about how there was this whole subplot about you find out about her family life and how she's got it all rough and all this kind of shit. And it's all this stuff. And it's like, what fucking movie is this? It's like she's the fucking villain, technically, of the movie. Like, Jesus Christ.
Who would have thought that it said, and it's the power to endure all these years. No, it's got.
And she, basically being with this older guy, she turns around and starts grooming him, the kid.
Yeah.
At one point, like, and I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, this movie is very problematic on so many fucking levels. Brian, I don't know if it's the writer, if it was just that manipulated between the writing and the movie itself, because it's so fucking weird. Like, some of this shit, you're just going, how did you come up with this? Like, part of this feels like, yes, you're clearly trying to be this funny, goofy fucking satire, because let's be real. What is garbage? And this is where I picture this started from, okay? What is Garbage Pail Kids? Well, Garbage Pail Kids is a satire / parody, what have you, of the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Topps cards, traditionally famous for doing these things called wacky packs, right? And what are those? Well, wacky packs were real things in real life that they would twist and make goofy, right?
Yep.
A funny take on whatever product you have.
Yeah.
So Cabbage Patch / Garbage Pail Kids turned into basically that. Like, this was the next level of that. It's like, okay, this thing's a big, huge craze. All these Cabbage Patch Kids, what's the gimmick? Well, technically, they all look alike, but they all come with a little certificate. They all have the little individual names and all this other bullshit. So what are we going to do? Well, let's take and give them really gross names and not only give them gross names, but their names will reflect what they are. And then they got even smarter. They're like, well, not only are we going to do that once, we're going to do it twice. What I mean is, we're going to give you a set of 52 cards, but guess what? They're 21 cards twice.
Yeah.
Just two different names, same picture. So they had to come up with two different names for each one of these little guys. And so, yeah, and you literally have like the first, I think, 10 characters or so, or 5 or 6 characters out of the first 10 characters are in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like Alligator and Valerie Vomit and Greaser Greg, and some of those are like the first few Garbage Pail Kids. So like that was kind of, you could tell the gimmick is they were going to start introducing each more and more each time because they were on this quest to go find more of their friends at the end of the film. And hello, Runner. You're coming in at the literal end of the show.
Yeah, the literal end of the show.
I had a feeling.
We can do anything but working with each other.
I saw that you guys were still live, and I was like, maybe I'll show up.
Yeah, at the very end of the show.
I know. Bad timing.
I've watched Garbage Pail Kids too many times in my life.
And you've watched it so many times you've lost a copy.
I don't even know what I did with it, because what sucks is I could have sold it for some buco bucks a while back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did I ever do with that?
Maybe you did and you just don't remember.
I'm sure I sold it for next to nothing right after I got the Blu-ray, not knowing the Blu-ray would eventually go out of print and everybody would pay like 60, $70 or whatever for the
Outrageous
DVD.
money of it.
Yeah. But now it's pretty widely available
Yeah,
again, so
like you
it's
said,
not
you
worth
got
shit.
4
but-
different copies of it now. So
yeah, I would have had if I had the other one, and I got one imported, no less.
That's
but
right,
that's just
yeah.
because it has that other documentary with it. But yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. As far as the price goes, I don't know if I can recommend it. It is a huge improvement on the picture, though, right? Like, I mean, that's one thing where Vinegar Syndrome shines through is they did a really good job with the transfer. It looks really good. It needed it because the Blu-ray is from an old ass transfer. So yeah.
Yep. Runner, do you want to say anything? Because it's 3 hours and we were closing it down. So
Oh God, do you want me to show at least like one thing that I watched?
I
Sure.
mean, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'll show this just because I feel like Tom's already talked about it on
Your
the show.
penis,
and-
we've already seen
Put
it.
it away.
Oh
It's
my
too small.
Well, I saw your video on it, Tom, and it was really good.
My penis, I've already seen it.
Ninja Turtles.
It was pretty good.
I got the box set. I watched all 3 movies.
There you go.
You were expecting the Addams Family?
Swing.
Oh my God, Corey Haim molested me.
Frank! Frank!
Oh my God, I molested myself.
I hope that wasn't an ancestor.
I hope it wasn't an ancestor that I molested.
That's that.
Fuck. Corey Haim, do you have to keep making me fucking think you're crazier than you were the last fucking few weeks ago?
Wrong Corey.
Corey Feldman, sorry, you know what I mean.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
I'm Donatello. I wish they'd have just kept the guy from part 2, to be honest with you. He was so much better.
Yeah, he was not bad.
Well. Did you like it, Runner?
Have you ever
Um,
seen him before? Or?
Oh God, yeah.
I was going to
dude,
say, you probably grew up with him, I suppose.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like the amount of conversations we've had with it, like, I discovered these as a kid, but
Eternal in Time.
but I told you that what is it? My introduction was what was it? 2010, 2012 show?
Yeah.
The
Which took a lot of
Nickelodeon one.
influence from the first film, yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that first because it
Oh,
was
the
on
2012 show, not the 2000s one. Oh, yeah.
yeah, the 3D
That one's
animated
kind
one.
of a weird, more of an update of the 80s series in some ways.
Kinda, yeah. And then I kind of stopped when it got into the more like sci-fi shit.
The weird shit, yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to remember because I remember them introducing like Casey Jones late because my first discovery of Casey Jones was the first movie
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't in the show for like the longest time because in the
Well, he was there barely ever in the original show. In the 2000s
Yeah, that's
show,
true.
he was more prominent, but
but like April O'Neil is like super young in that series,
Yeah.
and then they make Casey Jones like around that same age. So he's
I don't know.
like,
I just
super
watched
young.
like the first 5 episodes, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't really mess too much with the canon, but it's just not for me. It's too kiddie.
I understand that, but
But it ain't got shit on Mutant Mayhem as far as kiddiness goes. But yeah.
I was just gonna say like I didn't watch any of the ones, well, except for the Bay ones, but we're not gonna get into that. That's as far as I've gone with them. I didn't watch any of the other animated stuff. After that, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm too old for these versions of the Turtles. So I've just kind of stuck with like the movies and the older stuff. But yeah, I've seen the first 2 like many times. The third one I've only seen in its full twice.
And you loved it.
The third one?
I'm just messing with you.
No. I did not like the third one.
Not many people do. Not many people do.
You know, it's so weird because I thought about it like after rewatching it a second time and I'm like, this could have been a decent movie if it had a similar
Just
tone
got to
to the
cut out
first
most
one.
of Corey Feldman's lines out and you'll be good.
I was gonna say, like, the dumb jokes are bad.
With CGI AI now, I would not be adverse to somebody going in and redoing the turtles in this instance to make them look more like the Henson versions. I'm just saying, and while you're at it, cut out all the fucking Corey Feldmanisms.
Yeah,
And the swing. The swing's got to go.
the swing.
The swing is definitely got to go.
Yeah.
So does her delivery on the I'm allowed, I'm on vacation. I'm sorry. Paige Turco actually is horrible in the movie. I realized that this time watching
the
it.
third one.
Third one, yes.
Yeah,
She's fine in the second film,
I was gonna say I thought she was.
but in the third film, she just fucking. What are you doing with this character?
She's on vacation. That's what she's doing.
Well, just the way she reads her lines and shit. It's like, are you in a totally different movie or?
I also didn't understand the character that the other character that Elias Koteas plays.
It's just because they had to have him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's like okay, so like there's Casey Jones in the present, and then in Japan it's like, who the fuck is this guy? And they
Just a
never,
guy who looks like him.
yeah, it's just
He's supposed to be an ancestor or whatever. There's like, that's a big part of the movie that got cut out, I guess. And
I
they
was
talk
gonna-
about it.
I was
And
gonna
then-
say, because like after rewatching that, I totally forgot about that subplot, and I'm like,
Yeah,
where-
she's got a whole subplot with not Casey Jones in the past.
yeah, I was gonna say like who is this guy? Like,
And Mikey's, like, all the love stories got completely chopped out. One of them rightfully so. Like Mikey and the whole kid,
yeah,
what's her face thing.
yeah,
needed to go.
I know what you're talking about.
I want
yeah.
to see those fucking scenes though, because I know what's in those scenes because they're in the comic book adaptation, and I know they shot them because they're in the tops cards. And what it is she's up praying at one of the main scenes anyway. There's a few little sequences they trimmed out, but like you have his and her thing with April and not Casey going on at the same time. Little love, like not love triangle, but like dual love stories going on. Okay. So you have her falling for that Casey guy, and that's why she feels so betrayed by him later on. So there's even more of that got trimmed out. And I don't know much more about that than I'd have to go back and look at the comic book and shit. But then in the other side of it with Michelangelo, and this is the reason I remember it, because I'm like, they chopped a bunch of this out because it's basically Michelangelo inventing nunchucks as part of the scene. And I'm like, I don't care about the rest of the scene, but that part of the scene was funny. Because what happens is he goes up and he's talking to what's-her-face by this shrine thing, and they're having like this little love, like kind of blossoming scene. And then as they're walking back to the village, he sees these ladies that are working in the rice paddies, and the tool they're using is nunchucks. And what they use it for is they just take the two sticks, they wrap it around the plants, and they pull along, and they get the rice off. He's like, I know those are nunchucks, dude. And he picks them up and he starts nunchucking, and the people are like, oh, they don't, kappas, like doing magic tricks, So he basically invents nunchucks. So, because that's the whole thing is Mikey keeps inventing shit. He invents nunchucks, he invents pizza. I think he invents Nikes at one point too.
That's crazy.
Like all that stuff that kind of got trimmed out except for the pizza, basically. But yeah.
Insane.
Oh yeah, because the pizza gets burnt and shit.
But like if you notice, like the villagers, they go from like being barefoot, and then like later scenes they have like these weird tied up shoes on. Like so there was like this bit where Mikey created shoes for him or something like that. And he's like, they're called Nikes.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Yeah, because he kept trying to acclimate them. And I think he even tried to show them rock and roll at one point too, or something like that, which I think that was supposed to intercut with the sequence with the guys at the bar with the Tarzan boy. Because I'm like, I always tried wondering, like, why this song? Why this song of all songs did you pick? and the director never really explains it in this commentary either. But I'm thinking there must have been some sequence in between there for some reason in my brain that pops out. Because remember, April had that tape player in the one part. But like, he's like trying to explain rock and roll to him or something like that. And I think he starts singing the song, and then it cuts to the bar to them doing the Tarzan boy song. Cause like that was the whole thing. Cause they're in the jungle in quotations and, in Japan, and all that kind of stuff. Because otherwise, it makes no sense to have that song in the movie. It was just none. Like, and the same thing with like the half that soundtrack is reused shit. Like that movie, like when it came out, was one of the biggest disappointments as a Ninja Turtle fan. You have to understand, because it came out of nowhere. We didn't even know it was happening. I literally found out about it when I came out of Addams Family Values, and the fucking poster was hanging in the fucking theater, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I like saw it from a way away. I'm like, is that a Ninja Turtle? And I'm like, and I said to my brother, I'm like, when we leave, I want to go over there and see if that's Ninja Turtles. Because it looks like there's Ninja Turtles riding on fucking horses. And as we're leaving Addams Family, sure as shit, we went over there, and sure as shit, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And here they are riding on the horses. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because it was coming out in like a month. And what the hell is this? And I never even seen a trailer or nothing for it. The first trailer I saw for it was on the fucking Simpsons.
Wow.
And the first goddamn trailer I saw it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Because you had them looking like they did, and then you had the, oh, I swallowed a frog. I hope it wasn't an ancestor. And you were expecting the Addams Family? Shoo-wing! That was the whole trailer, was that shit.
Oh, no.
And you can believe, I'm like, oh, no, what did they do?
What have they done to my turtles?
And this was after Secret of the Ooze, and I didn't mind Secret of the Ooze so much at the time. At the time, I was 11. I didn't give a shit.
I was gonna say I liked it.
Movie.
I liked it more when I was around that age.
Yeah, as a kid, I didn't give a shit. To me, it was just another Ninja Turtle movie.
Because I discovered those around the time that show.
You got to remember when they came out. You had Batman and Batman Returns, and in a lot of ways, even though Ninja Turtles 2 isn't nearly as hardcore as Batman Returns, the tonal shift is almost similar, right? Because if you look at Batman Returns, you're never going to watch it the same way now, again, that I say this. It's shot like a comedy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Totally.
Except for the love scenes and certain scenes, most of that movie, since it's brightly lit, it's shot on sets that are brightly lit, unlike the first film is all dark and dour and you can barely see anything. The second film is, you can see everything except for a few select scenes. It's very light and brightly lit and colorful like a comedy. So yeah, so that's why part 2, they went into it and the director flat out knows. He's like, I knew what I was doing in this one. Like they've told me this has got to be more kid friendly. It's got to be more comedy. It's got to be more colorful. The first movie was too dark. You know, so he that's why they hired him, because he knew that they would do the notes they gave him, basically. Michael Pressman would. So I don't know why he's proud of that, but it's like, okay, dude, you want to be proud of the guy that destroyed Ninja Turtles, I guess. Because for years it took us a little ways to get away from that shit, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Ninja Turtles 2 has a blessing and a curse at the same time. But anyway, I'm going to let Runner talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I do like the second one. I do. It's nowhere near as good as the first. I think the first one's like top 5 comic book movie, in my opinion. It's one of my favorites. It's up there with all the other greats, I think.
mm-hmm.
Always thought so. The first time I discovered it, I was like, wow, like they actually made a movie of this. Like it was a weird thing to discover. And for the longest time, my parents thought like, oh, it was just a thing for 6 or 7 year olds. I'm like, no. So it was weird. It was a weird thing to like try to like get them to like understand that when I was in like,
There's so much more.
even though I was in like elementary school or whatever, I was in like 3rd to 5th grade around the time I saw those. And then like, because I remember it was weird because I remember when they were making another one, I didn't know at the time when like Nickelodeon was doing their own quote unquote live action thing with the CGI shit. I went to see that with my dad and I was like, yeah, this is a different take on it. And yeah, it was like weird, but Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think of it too much when I saw it at that time, but I I have the first two. Uh, the first two are like ones I'll like rewatch for the most part. Three, I just watched it this one time just to see how it looked. Really.
I'm really hoping that Warner Brothers is sitting on a scan of the negative for part 2. Because they're supposed to release it in theaters next year.
Oh, really?
And if they release this version in theaters, people are going to bitch. Because there's already people bitching that part 2 is too grainy.
Hmm.
And I can't totally disregard their gripes because, yes, it is, and it looks good. But it also shouldn't technically be that grainy. It only is because it's the inner positive.
Yeah.
Because if they had the negative, it wouldn't be so grainy. Now, the first film is just grainy as fuck. Right? It just always has been. It was shot on very grainy stock.
Oh, yeah.
It was shot in the dark. So,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I mean, the first one though, like, just it's the best I've seen like that movie. I think, like, I felt like I was like given a whole other experience with the 4K scan.
well,
of
and the
the
funny
first
thing is Steve Barron, the director of the first one, was constantly fighting with the lighting guys and the studio folks because they're like, "Don't show the shit so much; it's gonna look fake." He's like, "No, they look beautiful. Like, let's because that scene where they have that really close up shot of Raphael, you know, the very touching scene where he's like, I've tried to channel your anger, Raphael, but all that stuff where he's like just having that one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
Everybody's freaking out. They're like, "Don't get that close." They're like, "Don't get that close." He's like, no, I'm going to get close. And he's like, "Just make sure they're wet. It'll work." And he used what's called a snorkel cam to do that too, because he couldn't get so close otherwise. And it's like it's with a mirror. And it was just like, that shot is just amazing. Like, I don't care what anybody fucking says. That first movie, and I don't know if you heard me talk about it last week at All Runner, but I don't know if you realize it or not, but once you watch the commentary, you'll find out. Like, it's only like 90% complete. He did not get to finish shooting the movie.
I didn't watch
The studio
commentary
wouldn't.
yet.
Yeah, the studio wouldn't give him the money to finish shooting it, so he hijacked the movie, took it to Disney to show it to him to get some extra money, and Michael Eisner's and Katzenberg were like, "We'll give you some money for that."
Yeah, I saw the special feature interviews
and
talked about that.
Yeah, New Line and fucking Golden Harvest freaked the fuck out and fired him and Sally Menke and shut them out of the movie. So the cut we have is not the cut they had planned. Now, supposedly the work print floated around for years. I have never gotten my hands on it, so I can't tell you what's different about it or what. But like, because he had a completely different score and all that kind of stuff, and a little bit different tone. The ending was a little different. It had like that original ending where they're hanging outside of the building. They have that.
I was going to
deleted
ask
scene
if
on
it was
there.
that ending.
Yeah, and there's some other things that were different, but like they never got to finish the Michelangelo bits. There was some other stuff that he wanted to do, like he wanted to do some shots of them jumping around on top of the rooftops and stuff like that he never got to do. And some other stuff. So it was like there was a lot of stuff he wanted to do in New York he didn't get to do. That would have kind of tied things together. But yeah, for those who don't know, the whole Michelangelo bit, he's the only turtle who doesn't get anything to do during, the farm scenes. Well, his whole thing was, he's always the fun-loving turtle. Well, now he's introverted and he's nothing but angry, and he's training constantly to get better because he always felt like he was lacking or slacking, right?
Yeah.
And he's the one that actually discovers how to fight without being able to see, because that's that whole thing that Splinter's talking about that they don't even fucking really show you. When he says ninja's not just of the mind, but not just of the body, but of the mind.
Of the mind,
that's what he's referring to, because Michelangelo figured out how to fight without being able to see. And if you watch, there's still elements of those scenes in there, but they never got to finish it all. So you'll see, like, there's this bit where Michelangelo is like fighting all the other turtles, but he's got his mask turned to where his eyes are covered. And you'll see it, you can really see it in the 4K. And you can really tell that that's him on top of the roof yelling Splinter and not Raphael. And him in the barn fighting, and like, because that's bits and pieces they never got to finish that he's been training and figuring out all this shit. So they kind of tied in, Leonardo figured it out that he could, channel Splinter. It's like, no. That's not even what Splinter's talking about. He's talking about you need to learn how to fight in different ways you never fought before, and that's where Michelangelo figures this whole thing out. And that's where I've tried to tell you that whole sequence was shot out of a complete different order, I think, than what it's in the movie, because they went in and they hacked the hell out of that movie to get it down to the 90-minute version we have now. So yeah.
So was it supposed to be like longer?
Yeah, like probably about hour 45, probably. I think they lost about, but then they didn't get the other 10 minutes or so shot that they wanted to, because there was supposed to be a whole nother opening sequence. If you watch the trailer, part of it's there in the trailer. They never got to finish. That's the part where it shows all the turtle shells pop up out of in the little dike area with the water. Because what they do is the turtles pop out, and then they come up, and you don't see them right away. It's all in shadows, you know, like we normally see in like the cartoons where they're hopping over the fucking building tops and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And then they come upon April's stuff, so it was supposed to intercut with the beginning stuff and April's stuff, and then it leads into the whole fight scene in the beginning. But they just cut all that shit out because they never got it shot. Because it was supposed to be some stuff that he wanted to do, but it was going to cost a bunch of money to do the whole rooftop jumping to one. You know, it was going to cost almost $1 million just for that. And the studio's like, no.
I get that.
They're like, the movie's done. But of course, Golden Harvest didn't understand from the start. These guys are like, it's a ninja movie. What the fuck?
What do you
Why
mean?
do we need all this money for animatronics? Why do we need all this money to go to New York? What the fuck is all this shit? Why are we doing all this stuff? We don't get it. We just want to make a movie for $3 million and put our stunt guys in costumes. That's what they were going to do. And Steve Barron throughout the whole fucking script, he's like, this is not the movie we're going to make. And this gets me back to my initial point that I was going to talk about before. There's a video in this somewhere. This movie was originally going to be made by the same guy who was Gallagher's manager. His name is still on the movie.
Good God.
Now, the original plan for this was going to be a flat out fucking comedy. And it was going to be animated turtles in a real world situation like Roger Rabbit.
Oh boy.
Wow.
And the turtles' voices were going to be famous comedians like Gallagher.
Oh God.
And probably Robin Williams and Bobcat Goldthwait and stuff like that. Anybody they could get, basically.
Yeah.
That and Sam Kinison was another one they wanted real bad. And that was the initial plan for this movie, guys. This was going to be a balls out. Like, this is what I was talking about with Garbage Pail Kids. The movie could have turned into another Garbage Pail Kids easily if it wasn't for Steve Barron coming in and going, nope, we're not doing this.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Because he was actually familiar with the comics. And he got up, you know, he got as far as he could get with the comics, and then the studio's like, no. You got to have a pizza, you got to have the different colors, and the toy company's like, you got to have the different colors, right?
Yeah.
So those things he conceded on, and April's got to be, you know, April of the news April, which I never noticed it until this last time watching it. It never dawned on me. I mean, even though I noticed they changed it from channel 6 to channel 3 in the call letters, I never noticed until this time watching it that their call letters are WTRL. Turtle. And of course, the reason they couldn't use channel 6 and Bebop and Rocksteady and certain other elements is those were specific to the cartoon. And this is another thing I found out recently. One of the other reasons why I don't think they used Bebop and Rocksteady, because they could have licensed them and used them, and it wasn't a big deal because Peter Laird was one of the co-creators, but Kevin Eastman was not. I just recently found out. Peter Laird was a co-creator on Bebop and Rocksteady, but Kevin Eastman's name is not listed on there. Yeah, so that's kind of the weird thing. I'm like, oh, maybe that's why. Because, and then if you listen to them talk about it, they're like, nah, it wasn't really a license thing so much as we wanted to create some new characters. Because Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created Bebop and Rocksteady, Taka and Razor specifically for Secret of the Ooze. And it's because whoever created those characters got a piece of the toys, guys. It was all about the toys.
Always, always.
That's why Bebop and Rocksteady aren't in there, because A, Kevin Eastman didn't create them, and B, because they wanted some new toys.
Yeah, that's how it's always about.
And Kevin Eastman wanted to get paid. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Well, guys, it is almost 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Sorry about that. But
Sorry about
No
that.
problem,
That's
no
my
problem,
fault.
no.
there's a video in that somewhere, though. I'm surprised, like, hats off, or somebody else hasn't done it yet.
Yeah,
but
I'm surprised nobody has. But I appreciate you, Tom. Thank you, Runner, for joining us right at the end.
Yeah, no, I haven't been here in a while, and I felt bad for missing the last couple of weeks.
It's okay. It's okay. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody out there watching, everybody in the chat watching. Thank you guys. Should I play the opening one more time? The new Christmas opening one more time?
Sure.
we go.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you guys make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Are you ready to get physical? It's time to talk some discs and more. We're gonna talk about it all, and it's almost Christmas Day. Yippee-ki-yay, Merry Christmas is what we say! Who knows what we'll bring on this holiday? Who wants to get physical? You wanna talk some physical media? Deck the halls and come check out what we have in store. This is a Media Hound stream. Time for some physical media on FanZcene. Yeah, on FanZcene! Merry Christmas, you filthy animal! Come out to the coast.